We interrupt this program with a special report.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land. So sit tight and bend an ear.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week of the Manga Monday show. My name is Ben. As always, I'm with my co-host,
Edgar.
Edgar.
Who else would you expect?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe a Saul.
Yeah, but he's not a co-host.
That is true.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
all right. I'm leaving.
right.
Are you going to Zuckerberg me out this way? No.
No,
But
no.
it's good to be back.
If we
And-
were to add anybody to the podcast, I think it would be a Saul, probably.
Yeah,
right?
but I
Yeah.
had to, place ground rules. No One Piece talk whatsoever. No One Piece. Us Soul stays quiet the entire
Yeah,
episode.
Saul would
Doesn't say
Saul
anything else.
Would be like,
He's like the Dragon Ball fans of One Piece. Like that's
Yeah.
all he talks about. One would assume that's all he watched,
Hey,
but he
man.
watches and reads a lot
oh,
more
he watches
stuff.
and reads a lot.
But
yeah.
you meet him and you're like, oh, I thought I was a One Piece fan, but then until I met this guy.
No.
But he would be a great addition.
He is literally the catalyst for every single one of my friends to have read One Piece.
Yeah.
he made Alec read One Piece, and then Adam, and then that made me read One Piece, and now you're reading One Piece. So he's
yeah, but
started
I
this
got
train,
you
yeah.
into. I didn't really. No.
into One Piece.
No, I didn't get you into manga and anime. I know you watched it before.
You did,
but
you did.
I did.
You're the one. So when we were rehearsing a show in, I would say 2018, late 2018, and I was in a point in my life where I was like, I do acting and that's all that I do. And to be honest, it was getting kind of annoying to that point where it was just acting. And to me, just to have one thing, I feel like that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And also, it's not good for an actor to only do one thing, because actors should always have a second job, and should be doing things, right? And
To make money, but also
Yeah.
just to get that creative mind
Yeah.
always running. You know?
No kidding. And I'm lucky that I found manga and anime, and it's one of my favorite things to do now. But talk about and draw and all that stuff. But I wasn't just getting into Marvel. I was always into Marvel, but that was when Marvel was really at its peak, right? That was when
Yeah,
Infinity
Infinity
War
War
was coming out. It was after Guardians 2, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Spider-Man Homecoming, and it was just the renaissance. of
2018
great-
2017
2017,
2017 to 2020 were big was when I got into because I've seen almost every Marvel film, but I remember in a year in Texas State in college, my friend, he was really into Marvel, and he was watching the Infinity War trailers. I'm like, I was interested, but I'm like, what's the big deal? No, this doesn't happen, and all of them, and I was starting to realize wow, this might actually be cool. And then when I watched Infinity War, all right, I'm 100% in, and then it moved on from there. But did I recommend you then My Hero Academia?
Yes,
because that's when I got into it.
We were talking about it, and you were like, dude, if you really like this stuff, you should watch My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's anime. I don't know. Is that really?
Why would I watch anything other than Dragon Ball?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Ben was one of those
point,
fans.
Yeah. I did watch Yu Yu Hakusho as a kid, but I also watched One Punch Man, but I clocked out. Because people who have watched this for a long time, they'd be like, you lied. That means it wasn't a blind review when you reviewed One Punch. But no, I genuinely did not remember anything. I know I watched it. I just didn't. I just put it on in the background, But I remember watching My Hero, and I watched the first 4 episodes in about 4 weeks. I was like, okay, I'll watch it this week, and then next week I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I remember when Deku threw the baseball, right?
Yeah,
I was
oh.
like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then like Chris Sabbatt's like delivery on his, why are you so cool, Midoriya? I was like, that's how I feel. I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
And I binged the entire season for the next day, and then season 2 the next day, and then season 3 I binged.
What have I become?
in like
you.
one night.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, what have I done? You know.
It's the Anakin meme. What have I done?
What have I done? You know, but then after that, you know, I was always playing on the Discord with Alec and all them, and Alec was telling me, he was like, well, if you really like this stuff, you should watch Mob Psycho. And then I watched Mob Psycho, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And then, but the moment I realized anime and manga is something that fascinates me as an artist, as a creator, and all of that stuff was Haikyuu. Was because I was listening to Alec watching Haikyuu, and he was like, oh, and I was like, there's no way that an anime about volleyball is good. And then I watched it, and I went, I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
They can make anything interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it was Vinland Saga that made me realize I want to draw and write it. But yeah, I mean, so it was you that was the catalyst for it. So yeah, and it's all just been a journey, and my love for manga and anime continues to grow after everything that I've read. We're going to talk about one of those things today, and in a new genre that I haven't really touched before, which is fascinating. And then what I've been up to recently, I just finished Ping Pong the animation. Edgar,
nice.
Edgar, if you ever have time, just sit down, watch that in a day or two.
No.
And okay.
Not
well,
until you
moving on.
read the thousands of series that I recommend.
I just read Quintessential Quintuplets.
No. I meant the one that I wanted you to read.
I read Quintessential Quintuplets in 4 days for you. All right.
Look, that was a fun, like, oh, you want to get into it? Then let's do it. Not like a Ben. I want you to read this. I need you to read this, Ben.
Yes.
Like,
all right.
No. But I will.
No,
I know Ping Pong's a short series,
and it's really short. So that's why I was saying is it would be a quick. But it's one of the best things I've ever
Lauren
seen.
got you the first volume of the manga. Have you taken a peek at it?
Yes, it's up there. Yeah, I took a peek at it. It's brilliant.
Ping Pong has like some crazy animation based on what I've seen from clips of it.
It's the anime and the manga. It's the greatest adaptation I've ever seen of anything ever. Not in the sense that it makes it any better, but it is the most faithful, and it literally uses the paneling from it. It's just the moving panels, and it is the art style, everything, the storytelling. They do it in a very realistic manner. To tell you how realistic it is, you know, they use, most of the time when they use little boys, they use older women to voice those little boys.
Where are you going with
this?
this?
But they actually had like little boys voice the characters because it was more based on like realism and kind of stuff like that. Not something that you really see.
It is
in
a short
anime.
series, so it's
11 episodes.
They can afford to like cast a younger actor, because like with series, I mean, whenever
it was just for flashback scenes.
Yeah, when Naruto and One Piece, like all those shows were starting, you have to get like a woman a voice actress because they have to stay a teenager for like years.
Yeah, but
so you can't.
I also kind of like it because older people, they need the money more than those kids, right?
Yeah.
You know,
right.
so I actually do like that. But yeah, I just watched Ping Pong, and that was just finished that, which is great. And I start Love Is War this weekend. So
let's go,
so,
man.
Yeah,
watch the movie when it comes out.
Yeah, and after we do Love Is War, I want to do a Shonen Junk tier list where we rate all the romance anime tropes. I think that'd be great.
Maybe like a small good one more maybe to get you into that, because I feel like
I did read Horimiya.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Horimiya
and you
is
got
great.
Naruto, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one at the back of my mind, but once you get to Love Is War, it's like it's not over, but that's like hopefully that gets
over.
you. And there's like a lot more. A lot more good ones.
My Dress Up Darling is really good.
Yeah, that one's good. That's a whole other.
I've basically watched all of My Dress Up Darling on YouTube clips.
And like Bonnie being adorable for like blank seconds, or like
kidding.
all the fan service scenes in like 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. Edgar, what have you been up to?
Nothing much. I'm getting a new job. You know, starting new classes, all that.
Cool,
but I've finally decided like to get back into like film. I
Good.
still want to write. I still want to
You can
do all
write
the
in film.
do all the things. Yeah, screenwriting would be a great passion.
Mhm.
But I feel like I've given up on my passion for filmmaking, because I always thought to myself, it's always been a thing. Like, what's one thing you want to do but you can't do it, and that's always
Yeah.
been a thing. But I've always told myself I can't do it because I don't think I'm good enough, which is not a thing you want to be thinking about.
Definitely. Not.
But now I realize that if I keep doing that, I'm probably never going to achieve the small things. So like I realize, you know what? Why not? I still have all the time in the world to achieve what I want.
Yep.
And I have big ambitions and dreams, so I'm going to move forward with that. I'm still going to be writing stuff, and whenever Ben and I start collaborating on manga, on our projects, I'll be involved with that as well.
Great.
But filmmaking is a huge passion of mine, so one way or another, I'm going to eventually jump the boat on that.
Make films and cast me in them.
No, yeah. I was like, oh man,
That's what you should do.
I already have a short film in mind that I want to. I'm already
Dude, that
thinking
would,
big.
If you filmed it really well, that would look great on a reel for me.
It's
That'd
like
be great.
I have a. I mean, again, I'm actually gonna take my time for this one. There was a competition in November to submit. If I could just finish. I filmed the short film in college, and it was rushed, and I felt like but I filmed everything, and I felt like it's not good.
Okay.
But I still didn't finish it, and I never knew what it felt like. But I feel like if I keep thinking like that, I'll never be able to do anything in general. This can apply to anything. So I'm going to legitimately plan out everything. No rushing, no nothing, not even with, and make sure if I don't make it by November, I'll keep doing it, however long it takes.
November's a long time from now. So
Yeah. So
you got time.
I hope to plan filming summer, and it won't take long. It's supposed to be like 30 minutes, or the limit is 40 minutes for the short film. But I have something for you.
Good.
But it gets me excited. I'm like really, really excited.
Yeah, boom mic operator for me.
No, right? I was telling Ben, because like I was taking photos for Lauren, Ben's girlfriend. A friend of mine too. I like taking photos for her, and she uses me whenever she needs like headshots and whatnot, graduation photos, because I'm the photography guy that she knows, and I'm happy to help out. But Ben always tags along because he likes hanging out with us. But he always ends up. I told Lauren, like, I feel like I realized Ben has been like the hold this guy on our photo shoot. I'm like, hey Ben, can you hold this like reflector here?
I call myself the meal pack.
Yeah,
so yeah.
He always carries the stuff that we use for the photography shoots.
I'm always carrying stuff. Yeah.
No, but I like you. Yeah. Ideally, if I went through with this short film, I'd ideally like you to be in a scene, whether big role or somewhat small. I don't know how it'll end.
Good.
But it's. I'm really excited for it. I'm also excited for our everything we have for the podcast.
Yes.
And whenever we do get up on starting to draft up manga ideas.
Yeah. Really, everybody really relish what the Manga Monday show is right now, because a big New Year's resolution is coming to the channel, and things are going to be changing immensely for better. I don't know how it could go for worse. We
sell out to like Raid Shadow Legends, and you see one every like 10 minutes.
Why not?
The check is how much? Like
exactly. Excuse me?
You're paying us how much?
No kidding.
No, but and it's also fun talking about this. It's a time capsule. Maybe we'll look back on this year as like, wow, remember when we thought, or like, hey, we actually did end up doing blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Obviously, I'm gonna be a lot busier with a lot of things, but I feel like I'm making a change, and I'm ready to make a change in my life, and it comes to being productive and stop doubting myself, and to have the determination to follow through what I want to do.
Sure.
And that gets me super pumped up.
Great.
And can't wait for you guys to see all of it.
All right, Edgar. Let's jump on into the news. Well, it's not going to be too long of a news day today, because we do have a entire series to review of around 100.
Yeah, we don't got that
chapters.
much news.
We don't got that much news. However, we are going to watch a trailer for you, and we're going to talk through it one by one. Peak Fiction returns, Edgar.
Yeah.
January 9th, Vinland Saga Season 2 official trailer 3 is out around 56 seconds. Have you seen this, Edgar?
No, I only saw like a quick, you know how like you hover over a video and it like
it kind of gives you a preview. Yeah. That I've done the same as well.
I only know when it comes out, and that's it. Yeah. And this is you're not missing out if you can't see the actual video. It's only like
we're gonna talk it through. I mean, we can't show you the video.
No, I know.
But yeah, we're just gonna talk through it. So we're starting the video in 3, 2, 1. So first thing we see is Mappa walking Thors.
This is the third trailer, by the way.
Yeah, Thorfinn farming, being pulled down.
Tree. It's Attack on Titan.
Yeah. And you can hear the ending. Oh, that's good animation.
You think how do you think that you think they'll keep using 3D?
I think they will use a little bit of 3D in this, but they use 3D in Wits as well. They used a little bit of it for the boats. And all that
Point is,
stuff.
you don't really notice.
Yeah, you don't really notice that hand animation looked really good.
I feel like if Mappa has anything down, it's always the eyes.
It's definitely, look at that.
Yeah.
We're looking at a picture of Thorfinn crying as he's trying to.
Most impressive was of Canute's.
Yeah,
Canute's eyes.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing right now is Thorfinn is trying to get away from these zombie type creatures. We have read at least I've read all of Vinland Saga, and I'm caught up, so I won't spoil it for you. But what we're seeing right now is around 36 seconds. Thorfinn's climbing up, and it's just this beautiful shot of his eyes and him crying. He looks weathered, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks completely
old.
different.
He looks older.
He has a beard and everything.
Yeah, and then we see just a gorgeous animation of a hand.
It's
right?
funny.
Look at that.
It's not just in the anime, but in the manga. And this isn't a bad thing, but like it's like Thorfinn looks so completely different. I'm like, that's not really Thorfinn. I can only kind of see it, but like he's supposed to be weathered down and like absolutely depressed.
Yeah, it's supposed
like,
to be like showing what depression and what cleaning yourself up can do.
But
for
it doesn't
you,
even
know?
like. But his eyes are like completely different. Only when he like gets better, I'm like, now it looks like Thorfinn. I know that's the point.
Yeah.
But like it's like night and day. They look like, I don't know. It's something about the eyes that look really different.
I think Thorfinn looks completely different. Like when he's, but you've seen those people before that have those brighter eyes, and then you see those people that have the darker sullen eyes. And
yeah, but he had like the dark like squinting like angry eyes in the first season, and then later, and then past this farm arc, he looks like, oh, it's him but older now. Yeah. But in this one, it's like. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I know what you mean.
People might confuse me for saying, "Well, no, duh, he's like going through this and that and that."
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make myself clear. But I don't know.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But the animation looks great. What I actually really like about the animation is it's like a nice mix of Wit and Mappa. You know, like it looks like just this nice little like mix. Like if we can find just a nice little. Like that looks like Attack on Titan background.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I was saying because Mappa loves that.
Yeah, Attack on Titan background, and it looks like, but the people look like they're animated by Wit. And you're right, like it's Mappa eyes, but like the hair and everything around it looks like it's because it is the same animators from Wit. That looks more witty. Witty. There was another shot of that guy that looks pretty Wit-esque. It's more of the thing with Mappa is more of the shine right here. You see these shines and stuff.
It's the lighting, the shine in the eyes, but it's always the boldness when it comes to the outlines. Yeah. And Mappa always tends to be pretty thin.
God,
with that.
What a shot!
Yeah, we're just going.
Jeez, yeah. At 16 seconds, Thorfinn he's reaching towards something, and his color kind of fades from him. And man, it looks really good.
Yeah,
he looks so much like Askeladd here, don't you think?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, I think it looks.
A fun fact: this the week the new episode comes out, the new volume 13 for Vinland Saga will have its English release here in the States. Really looking forward to that because I don't know why, but specifically with Vinland Saga, I like reading it on the page because it's such a like I feel like there's some mangas I can't like. Right for specifically like Jujutsu Kaisen, I feel
Yeah.
like I read on the page and I have to read it because I don't like reading on my phone.
Yeah, no
and same
kidding.
goes for Vinland Saga. So when this episode comes out, I'll check out the manga and start reading that.
I know like what this I know what background this is from too. From this chapter.
I think so
Um,
too. I could be wrong.
this arc, other than the 70 Swordsmith arc in Vagabond, which is my favorite arc of all time, this arc might be my favorite
In
thing
Vinland
I've
Saga?
ever read. I don't know, like it's might be my favorite arc ever, but the 70 Swordsmith arc in I don't know if that's actually what it's called in Vagabond, but in Vagabond is like god tier. It's really good. But yeah, excited for it, Edgar?
Yeah. I'm still worried about how Mappa will handle it.
I'm worried too, but if they nail it, it's gonna be hard to beat as the best thing to come out next year.
Well, hold on. Well, let's try to think about what's coming out next
Attack
year.
on Titan, final
Yeah.
part.
I've kind of
Spy Family.
I'm looking forward to it,
Mhm.
but I've kind of given up on like because they have to.
They have to what?
They have to Attack on Titan. They have to like give it everything.
They
And I
have to
feel
give
like-
it. They have
and
to
I
give
feel
it
like
the
they haven't.
bleach. They have to give it the bleach treatment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like they probably won't.
Yeah.
So I'll still be watching it, but I'm gonna like keep my expectations low for that.
Okay.
Does Solo Leveling come out this next?
No, we don't know. We don't know. It's most likely Solo Leveling will come out in 23. I mean 24. But the thing with Solo Leveling is that isn't Japan changing it to them not being the bad guys?
It
Which
was.
I feel like that I'm
Yeah.
more worried about than
Yeah.
anything else.
I need to follow up on that. I don't
'Cause
know how much of it they
Because
were
come
gonna
on,
change.
Japan, like you can't be the villains in one story. You know, I don't know. That's just me.
I'm trying to think of anything else that comes out.
Doctor Stone, the second
yeah.
season comes out. I mean,
That,
third
I don't
season.
see them doing that much with that.
No.
Um,
It is
Hell's
a great
Paradise?
arc. It is
Oh,
a great
Jujutsu
arc.
Kaisen.
Yeah, Hell's Paradise.
Again, we're both
Jujutsu.
worried for all
Yeah.
of them, but Jujutsu Kaisen.
Hell's
could-
Paradise I'm the most worried for.
Yeah.
Because I think out of Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man, I think Hell's Paradise from that 4 is the most likely to be pushed under the rug and be like, okay, we'll just give this some awful animation.
I feel
you
like
know?
Jujutsu Kaisen's second season might also overshadow Attack on Titan.
Yes.
Maybe that might be an overestimation, but I might be reaching there. But it's like in terms of like, because like Shibuya's is Jujutsu Kaisen's current best arc, right?
Yep.
So-
well, I mean the current arc, every arc after Shibuya is pretty spot on.
Yeah, but
yeah.
all I've heard is Shibuya. Like all I've heard is like Shibuya.
But that's also that's like the arc where everybody got in. Like in my opinion, right now the fights in the manga that are been coming out the past couple of months are the best fights in the series. It has the best characters in the series. Yeah, it's goated right now.
Yeah.
It's really
But
good.
that I feel like if done well, Jujutsu Kaisen might be above that.
Demon
and-
Slayer, the movie.
Oh no, never mind. Yeah, I trust.
I trust
Ufotable
Ufotable
to handle that.
more than any studio. Unless Ufotable or Bones with Prep Time. Bones with Prep Time is like
I like how I just say
we're
with
talking
prep
about
time.
them like
So does
Goku.
Mappa, like in a sense, like
Yeah,
Mappa
yeah,
with
yeah.
like less shows or prep time.
Well, Mappa with
One show.
without killing their
Employees,
employees
yeah.
is good. I guess Toei Animation when they do a good movie, I guess it's really well
Is there
done.
a new movie coming out next year?
We don't know. I mean, that's a good question. What's going on with Dragon Ball? I mean, we know the manga just returned.
It was rumored that the
Yeah.
anime series is going to be picking up.
Yeah,
next
it
year.
is big. It is a big rumor, and I think it should. The Moro arc was really good, and
Yeah.
so was the Granola arc. So yeah, we'll see how.
I
that
don't
goes.
think, as of right now, there is no confirmation how Chainsaw Man will continue
no.
part 2. Like, I'm really
Or is it
surprised
just
they
gonna be season 2?
Yeah, or next season, but I'm pretty sure we're probably not gonna get it this coming year in 2023. We might come.
God, could you imagine?
Yeah, I don't think because we haven't heard anything.
Sheesh.
We haven't like and
Well, it might be wait until the final episode comes out because
Yeah.
they might say part 2 coming out in April or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
I mean it won't come out in April because that's when Hell's Paradise comes out. But if they release it the same month, that's when I get really worried.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm also worried for Chainsaw Man. Like,
Everything Mappa does,
yeah.
I'm worried about. Like,
Is Mappa, like, we don't know because all of these have been first seasons. Is Mappa gonna have the second season syndrome where they come back and it's
we
like,
have to keep
you know,
doing the show.
yeah,
Like, it's like is what they're saying.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's yeah, I don't know. I need to have the list. We need to have the list in front of us to see like, what's coming out next year.
All right, Edgar, real quick, I have right here just a big thing. Spy Family anime is going to get its second season and film in 2023.
Another anime film.
Yay.
Man, they want the shmoney. They saw Demon Slayer making the money. They saw Dragon Ball does it all the time. But like, you know, now, and My Hero has been doing it. But like, it seems like everything might be a canonized film.
Good. If it's a short arc, do it in a film. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds great.
I think I know a good arc to have the film in, but other than that one, I don't know. It could be Lloyd's.
I believe this one is going to be about Lloyd's backstory, which what I've heard is the most serious part of the manga so far.
I don't remember. I don't know if it's as long enough for that, but we'll see what they're announcing. Maybe it'll just be I can't imagine this being really.
What if it's like a Tales of Bossing Say kind of thing, where like some episodes it's going to be like it's just going to be like individual episodes, and the main core is going to be Lloyd's backstory.
Looking forward to it. Wit and Cloverworks did an amazing job with the second season.
Do we have a release date?
No, it just says 2023 theatrical film to come out. I don't probably don't know when the second season will come out, and I don't know what order it will be releasing in. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be film and then show, or then second season and then film. Yeah, but there is a nice teaser poster with the whole family on the plane, which is pretty cool. But other than that, look forward to Spy Family. Japan loves the Spy Family just like they do Demon Slayer. So regardless of whether how we feel about it, they're gonna keep doing it because Japan loves it.
We all like. If you don't like Spy Family, you're not a part of the human race. Like, I'm just gonna say that.
You have no soul.
Yes, exactly. Well, if you don't like Spy Family, we're not bashing on you. But
we are. I think we are. I think we totally are.
Sometimes I can see. But anyway. But yeah. Edgar, what do you got for us?
I got. Give me 1 second. Just some more closing announcements from the Jump Festa that happened past recently.
Okay.
Blue Exorcist anime is returning. Hold on. Oh, I thought Alexa was going to speak. I saw her blue light flashing.
No.
I'm like, no, wait, don't say anything. Yeah, but Blue Exorcist is returning. The anime. It was discontinued, or I don't know how exactly it ended. I just heard it straight off from the manga, and it just stopped, or it had its own ending, or something like that. I'm pretty sure it didn't continue.
Yeah.
But the manga picked up as well, like a year or two ago. I don't think the manga is done yet, but but it's getting picked up again. I don't know who. I think Aniplex made the announcement.
Annie Bullock
or something like that. I don't know who is animating it. That's all I have, because like the only, for some reason, like the only news article I had was in Japanese, and all I had was the date, and I recognized that it was Blue Exorcist. So I'm like, okay, I can't go much off that. But nonetheless, for those of you who are Blue Exorcist fans, you also got the manga that came back, but you also got the anime. Very much looking forward to how that turned out. Chainsaw Man's Volume 13 cover was released. It's pretty cool. I forgot this chick's name, but it's in Chainsaw Man's
yes, it's the girl who had the
spoiler.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't say it.
I can't even say it. Never mind.
No, that's okay. But I know what you're talking about. I know what she is. I just forgot her name.
It's the blonde-haired girl with the glasses. Is who we're talking about.
I thought she had white hair. I don't know. I could be wrong.
No. She has blonde.
It's always hard to tell whenever like.
It's always hard in manga.
Yeah, it's like, is it black or is it white?
Bruh,
it's like
reading Black Clover. I had. Seeing their hair color for the first time, I had no idea. I was wrong on all of them.
What? Who did you think? Asa? I mean, you knew he had gray hair.
I thought what's her face had
Noelle?
blonde. I thought she was blonde.
Noelle?
Yeah, but she had white.
No, it's kind of purplish.
It's purpley.
Purple white-ish.
Purple whitey.
Yeah.
Kind of like Gojo-esque. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that surprised me was, gosh, what manga did I read that I'm like, that's the hair color? I guess all One Piece characters, because like I don't really pay attention to the minor characters in One Piece, so I'm like, oh, that's a cool character, and then I looked at what?
I'm just checking up showtimes. They still have showtimes for the Quintessential Quintuplets movie.
Yeah,
That's weird.
one in Irving.
Oh, one in Irving. Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
but still, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But Chainsaw Man anime cover looks great. Hunter x Hunter is going back on hiatus after chapter 400 with no return date announced. The editorial staff put a notice about future publication. It says, "Thank you for reading Hunter x Hunter. As for the publication of the manga, chapter 401, and after we have discussed with Togashi about his health condition, and as a result, we have decided to publish Hunter x Hunter in a format other than weekly serialization. Togashi-sensei will continue to write the following chapters, and the editorial department will continue to support him until the completion of the manga.
Good.
Specific publication dates and methods will be announced in future issues of Weekly Shonen Jump. Thank you for your continued support, Hunter x Hunter."
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, keep doing that. Please don't. You don't have to follow the the grueling format that you do weekly, as like most mangakas do. But especially Togashi shouldn't follow that because of his health, and we want him.
I don't think any mangaka should follow it.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. But whatever.
Yeah, that's not good.
I mean, when you do what we do and you review the news, you realize that mangakas are more hurt than they are anything else. So yeah,
you
crazy.
think they're all right, but a bit deep down, they're not. So always go easy on them. What else do I got right here? Yeah, I had a bunch of other stuff, but I'll save for next week because I need to officially find them because I didn't mark them down for some reason.
All right.
But there's one more thing I want to talk about before.
Sure.
Oh, no, I have it right here. I have two things.
Okay.
Sorry. Kaguya-sama Love is War, First Kiss Never Ends, special theatrical release, is coming to U.S. theaters on February 2023. There was a new trailer released as well by Aniplex, so checked it out. Ben, you said you were going to pick up the anime, which is going to be great. Really excited.
Yeah, we'll watch the movie together.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I've completed and read the manga, so I know what's happening. But Love is War is one of those animes that go above and beyond when it comes to adapting the manga, and it's absolutely hilarious. And just when you think where the third season ended and where this movie picks up, you would usually be the end of like a lot of series. But it keeps going forward and it keeps doing a lot of things that are really entertaining.
Right.
Final thing, not manga and anime related. I just thought it was hilarious. Movie studios can now be sued under false advertising laws if they release deceptive movie trailers, and federal judge ruled on Tuesday. This was brought up because two people who were Ana de Armas fans rented the movie yesterday. You remember that film?
Yeah.
They rented it, and they were really disappointed that Ana de Armas was not in it, even though she's in the trailer. She was in a deleted scene.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's like a scene where like.
Okay, but that one's bad. That one's like.
Yeah,
I don't know if they should be sued on it, but that one is bad.
And then people were bringing up a bunch of examples like Infinity War, Hulk being in Infinity War when he really wasn't in it. In the charts
but that's
scene.
more. I don't know. When you accept this, you start to ride that line of, okay, well, do you just want the trailers to spoil the movie then,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you could just also omit it. But that is
true.
a good point. But a big one that came up that I forgot about. I haven't seen the movie, but I remember hearing about it. Kangaroo Jack, a film like in the early 2000s, a trailer was released with a live-action Kangaroo Jack, like rapping and whatnot. People thought it was going to be a movie about a talking kangaroo, but that sequence only happens for like under a minute when the guys are like tripping out. It's about some rap. It's just about normal people and humans.
Yeah.
Like the actual kangaroo doesn't talk for the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
And parents are like really disappointed in it, and their kids are upset that they were lied to. So like this could go for a lot of things, and it might change the way movies advertise their films.
Yeah.
Like, can you no longer like put in scenes that were cut out or whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also you guys have to remember that when a federal judge says one thing, another federal judge might say another. That's just the system that we live in.
Yeah.
So, like, when one federal judge says something, it literally means nothing. When another country does something, it literally means nothing to the United States Constitution, because everything is on a case-by-case basis. It's never black and white. It's always just this ugly mesh of gray. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's not final, but I just thought, I was like,
Yeah,
what?
it's interesting.
How can you get that angry? Like, there are a bunch of Anadarma simps who, like, clearly, I don't know, this is really...
Speaking of angry, right, I want to talk about this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
DC fans are weird.
Oh, you're talking about because of the Henry Cavill...
Don't you agree? I mean, yeah, like, I like Henry Cavill as much as the next guy. Probably not as much as the next guy. I'm not a really big Henry Cavill fan.
I really like Henry Cavill.
I think he's a good actor. I just think that the obsession towards him, I think, is very unfounded, and I think it's literally just because he's a nerd, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's a nerd like me," and he's a hunk, so the girls like him and stuff. I don't think
no, the men like him.
the
Ben.
men do like him, but I think that, like, people saying, "Oh, he has to be in Game of Thrones," I'm like, he would not fit in this world.
I think that's the only reason why you really
all.
don't like him, because you feel like he won't be.
Well, and also I don't think he was a good Geralt. I never thought he was a good choice for Geralt.
Yeah.
I from the moment he was cast, I was like, that is an awful decision. And people were like, "Oh, he's great. No, he is great." And yeah, he showed some heart in it. But I think that that's also like when people. I don't think you should cast people in roles just because they're fans of that thing, right? Like, because the whole reason Henry Cavill was cast was because he came out on IGN and said, "Yeah, I played The Witcher 3. I love it. I'd love to do a movie or television show," and that's why he was cast.
All right. Well, I guess Ben
that
can't be
is
cast
stupid.
anymore in any anime ever.
Hey, I don't come out and say I want to be cast in this anime.
Well,
I throw it out there.
Well, in that case, I'll make sure Crunchyroll doesn't cast you in Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, just to spite
not
you.
that there's any good roles anymore, but you know.
I know.
Well, there might be for Dragon Ball Super, but no, I think it's different, because I think that Henry Cavill saying, "I want to play Geralt of Rivia," like, and then they cast him as Geralt, it just rubs me the wrong way as an actor, right?
I think all this boggles down to Zack Snyder fans, really.
Yeah,
I feel like
I agree with
a
you.
good majority of the Henry Cavill fans are actually really like him for what he does and understand that he's not a top-tier actor. He doesn't fit in every role.
I like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And I do think he was a good choice for Superman. However, in the Geralt stuff, I completely stand by that. I don't think he was a good Geralt.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think a lot of those people in the show fit their descriptions
Dude,
in the book or
when I
video
saw who was who,
Absurd, right?
even in characters that I haven't seen yet in the show, because I've only seen like 4 or 5 episodes,
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then oh my god! And then I found in the worst, you do a character a disservice is when like you watch an entire episode of a character and then like, oh, that's them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I don't know their name yet, but like they don't look, but they don't even have to look, but they don't act
that
like them at
feeling,
all.
Rings of Power was literally just that. I went, "Are you kidding me? That's Durin? Are you kidding me?" I was that's Celebrimbor. He doesn't know what an ore is, yeah, so
I'm like,
yeah.
that's what's her name? The red hair chick, Trisha?
Triss.
Triss? I'm like, that's Triss? I know she doesn't look like she does in the video games, but I was like, but that looks nothing like her.
I'm just saying
and
that
she doesn't
it's
act
like
anything like her.
That it is, the mythology is based on Eastern Europe, such as, Novigrad was actually a city in Russia, such as all that stuff. So they should probably be Eastern European, a lot of them, which I don't know.
Even body
I just
physiques,
think,
they don't
yeah.
match. Like, I remember that one elf guy, what's his name? The one, like, the one that guides Siri.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking
Avalok
about.
something.
Avalok.
Avalok, yeah.
Yeah.
His Netflix adaptation version looks like a scrawny wimp teenage boy.
Yeah.
It looks like
Your Siri came off.
Yeah. But yeah.
But going back to Zack Snyder, like, they're all throwing a fit over James Gunn axing it. where were you guys? Like, I swear to God, they did not exist. Like the people who loved these movies. I guess
Oh,
now they're
Ben,
just
they have
being
been
vocal.
no.
I guess
they
they're
have
just being. They're just yeah.
they have existed for a long time, and it is like
Like when I hear people say like, "How could you do this? How could you do this?" Man of Steel was the best Superman movie, and I take that and I go, "Okay, so there have been no good Superman movies, right?" I hated Man of Steel, right? It's like it's one of those movies I watched and I was like, "This is a load of garbage." But to be honest, like I don't like Superman as a character, so that might be a main portion of it.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I loved the first Wonder Woman. The second Wonder Woman was one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen.
I'm surprised at how many people hate Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, even Zack Snyder fans. That surprised me a whole lot. But Zack Snyder fans have been very vocal. Why do you think Flash entering the whatever speed something?
What is happening in that movie?
No, it's just
with that movie.
Like Flash, no, not Flash the movie, but why do you think the Flash moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League? Why do you think that number one fan favorite moment of 2021? I'm like, no, that wasn't. It was Spider-Man. I'm like, and then it's because of Zack Snyder fans and the bots that they all created because they're that loud and vocal about it. But they've always, I don't know what it is about them. They just like they're just like dark edgy edgelords.
I just thought that everything from Justice League to, and I didn't watch Zack Snyder. Sorry guys, I don't have time to rewatch
his film. His
I heard it was good, but I don't have time to watch a movie that's gonna go nowhere. Sorry, I just don't. You know, like in terms of these.
Well,
superhero
then why
stuff.
read Vagabond or
Well, Vagabond could come back.
Yeah,
Zack Snyder is definitely not coming back.
Yeah, no.
Right. But also, Vagabond is a story that like is good, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I see what these people mean, but also like I don't know, just the look of DC films have always rubbed me the wrong way, and the best DC film that I know is good is the Suicide Squad.
And Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes, Dark Knight. Obviously,
and other films.
I'm not talking about Batman films.
Oh,
Batman
you just
films
meant
is their own.
Oh, you just meant
is their own. I'm talking about the DCEU, the stuff that
the extended universe.
The extended universe. But apparently now it's the DCU that they're making.
Well, because they're wiping the slate now, and there's like, all right, none of that.
What do you want James Gunn to do, man? Like, do you want him to just continue? Like, obviously it's not working. You know,
and it'd be very confusing. Like, is he in it? Is he not in it?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Is everything but is everything before canon, not canon? And it's like, what are we gonna follow?
I've also never understood the fascination of what's his face's Bruce Wayne,
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Like, I liked him, but I never thought he was like I already immediately liked Pattinson's better.
Yeah. The only thing I liked was his action scenes, although he should not ever like shoot a gun.
Oh yeah, he shot a gun, didn't he?
Yeah, and he like kills people. So not ideal. But I don't think his Batman film that he wanted to write and direct is definitely not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
But they should definitely keep Robert Pattinson as Batman and just keep that separate from its own thing, because I really like that. Matt Reeves is a great director, and I trust him to do his own thing. Yeah, Zack Snyder fans, really committed, really weird guys. I mean, nothing against Zack Snyder in general.
I don't think I've been on that side of the. I mean, you're. More
it's all on
into
Twitter and
than
it's all
me.
on YouTube and whatnot. So like,
I've never heard that stuff, but they're always. I guess there are always people who are like, "Oh no, it's good," and I mean that happens a lot on Facebook. Like you see a lot about the sequel trilogy, and people are like,
"Yeah, you're on the Facebook side of things." That's like where no one.
Actually, this is I'm barely on Facebook, right? But I read some comments sometimes, and they're like, "Actually, the sequels are the best one." I was like, "Wow, this is the worst takes I've ever seen." You know, on social media, what a surprise. You know, but also don't take that stuff. When people post something on Facebook and they get 100 likes under a comment, it literally means nothing. There are hundreds of thousands of millions and billions of people on the planet, and most likely they are the minority, and people are just able to find one person who stood by their weird obsession. But yeah, well, to completely flip the script, let's talk about Quintessential Quintuplets 2 weeks ago. I decided 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know.
3 weeks.
3
it
weeks
feels
ago,
like.
I took the dive and I read most of the story. I read about 50 chapters in about, I would say, 2 to 3 days. It was crazy. I was a madman. I was reading like a madman, and I kind of just stopped after I watched the movie. So yes, I did watch the movie without having about 30 chapters within there. So yeah, I've had a weird experience with this one. I've never read a manga this fast.
Yeah, I would have asked them to take a time, but I wanted to watch it before it went out of theaters.
Definitely.
And review it as soon as possible.
we want to review. We need to get anime reviews for movies out fast because a lot of times they're not in the theaters. Like the Love is War one, that one probably isn't going to last longer than 2 weeks. I would say.
I wonder how long. I feel like Love is War is more popular, so maybe that'll be like, put out.
I'm interested to
longer.
see how long Spy Family is going to be in. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did read up to chapter 50. I read till about when did I stop
after
reading?
the ski trip or something?
Yes, it was after.
field
It was a little bit.
So like at
past
the end of
that.
season 1,
Yeah.
like a little after season 1 into season 2.
It was like halfway through season 2, I would say.
Okay.
It was the Labor Thanksgiving arc. It was when Futuro said, he said, I'm gonna stop. He said, I'm gonna stop teaching these kids. That's when I stopped reading. So there's about 30 chapters I didn't read in there, and they were important chapters. Let me tell you that, because like I watched this part and I watched the movie and I was like, why does everybody hate Ichika? Like I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'm so confused by. But now I get it, but also I think it's there's a character who I hate way more than her, and I think I'm gonna get some hate from this for the quintessential quintuplet.
Okay, I bet.
But we'll talk about it.
I'm excited to hear what it is. Like,
I have a little bit of a hot take where I know I was reading on this manga site and all the comments were like, "Yeah, I love this person," and I'm like, "Oh, I hate her."
Oh, I think I know. No, yeah, see,
but I think you're gonna think similarly to me. But so this story follows a pretty tame 3-act structure, right? You have the kind of prologue arc, which is known as the Nakano sisters arc, or the Nakano quintuplets arc, where it's the introductions to all the stuff.
Yeah.
Then the first act is kind of the girls accepting him. First we get through Miku, then we get through Ichika, then we get through Itsuki, and then Nino is the last one who eventually accepts him. Yeah. The second act is when they're all falling in love with him and they're all kind of fighting over him.
Everyone likes to classify the first 2 seasons, as first season. He's a good guy. Let's all share him. Second season,
war.
it's war. Yeah, he's mine.
You're going down.
Mine.
Exactly.
Go away. But
and then the third act is the movie.
Film,
It was the movie, and it's when Futuro decides that I'm gonna choose one of them, and we're gonna have to be okay. We'll see that because there's some parts at the end of the second act where he's like, oh, maybe I should start thinking of them this way, I'm
a guy.
Yeah.
I like girls. I know, but,
exactly.
But I feel like we should give a spoiler warning for this review because I feel like we'll be jumping over because we already talked about the end of the story essentially. Yeah, and
we'll try and go on kind of an arc by arc, but we'll jump around anywhere where we see fit.
Yeah. But be wary of that because we're going to be talking about this because you guys get us.
And
we're all over the place.
And then we have of course the kind of epilogue, which is the kind of like the last 2 chapters of the series as a whole. So let's get started. I know every character's name, every main character's name, by the way. Watch this. Remember last time where I struggled and I had an absolute horrible time? Watch this. Itsuki, Nino, Ichika, Yotsuba, and Miku. And then the main character's name is Futuro.
Yeah. Itsuki, Furtado.
go.
Ben was like Niku, Itsama, and then like
Itsuka,
Gotsuba.
Nico.
Yeah, no, you literally said that.
I know I did. It's because it was awful. I had such a hard time, but
Bro,
now
you telling me main characters actually have Japanese names?
And I actually
like,
spent some time. I watched the first 2 episodes of the anime, and I really enjoyed it. So it might be something that I put on in the background.
Yeah.
For all my dub friends out there, who, if you're in the show, I'm so sorry. I did not like the dub. I tried to watch the first episode.
I think it's all right.
It might take a few seasons. I'm gonna try again in season 2.
Yeah.
But I think I do like the sub, even though their high pitched voices give my ears cancer sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tinnitus.
Yeah.
I like how you jump straight to cancer, not like something minor like tinnitus
cancer,
or deafness.
Straight cancer.
Is there even ear cancer?
But I love all the voice actors who are in it. The person who plays the who plays Futuro in the dub is one of my favorite voice
Josh
actors.
Grell, yeah.
Yeah.
Armin.
Armin Arlert, yeah. And Canute, yeah.
Oh yeah, he
earlier,
voiced.
yeah.
Wait, in the Netflix or in the?
In the Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
The sadly not another one that isn't
not
that,
the official
not
one technically.
Another one that isn't that great.
I wonder now that Vinland Saga is on Netflix. I wonder which dub they have. Netflix.
It's gonna be interesting because now
Sentai?
now Crunchyroll's ahead of it, so we don't know what
is going on with the Vinland Saga. Can they redo it or something?
We don't know what's going on with a lot of dubs, right? Because apparently Demon Slayer is going to be a Crunchyroll property for dubbing as well, so there might be a similar scenario.
Bryce Papenbrook and most of the main cast are have worked with Crunchyroll.
Yeah, they have.
They should be fine.
So they should be fine. I think it's going to be more the side characters who are part
Hashira.
of the who are part of Saga.
I like Tengen's already. I don't want to lose him. But
know.
anyway, let's see.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so we start with the Nakano Quintuplets arc, and immediately as we start this arc, I'll just say that this story probably would have been unbearable without Futuro Isugi, or Yusugi, or whatever you want to say his name as. But it would have been unbearable. I genuinely think he adds so much to the story in terms of him not being, because I already know in Rent a Girlfriend the main character is pervy, right? I can already tell.
No, he's just a loser. Every guy, any main character in a harem show, I don't blame him for being bro, can I hook up with all these girls? I'm just a lonely guy. But man, he is unbearably you're a simp. You're a loser. Go touch some grass.
Yeah.
It's
but,
just
but Futuro adds a very down to earth version.
Forget
of
these
this
girls.
story.
I gotta get my grades up. Is what he's thinking about.
And to be honest, in these last couple of chapters I read, they were annoying me. All of them were annoying me, and I was like. And we'll get to it later. Like I said, we're going to be jumping around a lot. But
plot twist: Ben doesn't like girls.
But in the sorry, you had to hear this from on the podcast, Lauren. But no, the arc before the field trip arc, just let the man enjoy his vacation, bro.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. And everybody was plotting, and Futuro finally put his foot down. He was like, "No. You get away from me." I was like,
was that
God.
Before the field trip? That was when the spa sauna, the hot springs,
that one too.
Yeah,
that one I was like, can't this man enjoy a small trip with his family alone? Please,
I remember.
For the love of God,
Hey, they didn't know he was gonna be there either, so. Or were they?
Yeah, but still, they ruined it for him.
Yeah.
They still ruined it for him. But yeah, anyway, so we get this nice Nakano quintuplet arc.
Introduction to each of the girls,
Yes, a nice introduction to each of the girls. We know they kind of just give us a base thing early on. Miku likes history.
She's shy and timid,
Yotsuba's athletic.
She's super energetic and
Itsugi really, really wants to do good on her homework.
She's not smart, but she wants.
She wants to be.
She's ahead of. She's kind of like the unofficial head of the group.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Nino's a tsundere. That's literally all I have to say.
Yeah, she's like she drugs him.
Yeah.
And she berates him with insults constantly.
3 times, dude. We'll get to that later on. But then Ishika is the
older Ada older sister type.
Got the Ada older sister. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the hot one.
And
essentially.
we don't necessarily get get what she does until later on
Yeah.
in the fireworks arc. But yeah, and this arc is literally he's just being like, oh, I guess I'm gonna teach these people. How does he? I don't remember. How does he end up being their teacher?
His dad offers him the job.
Dad offered the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the dad's like all for one at this point, right? Because he's like, you can't hear him, and he's like deadly, you know.
Oh
It
yeah.
sounds,
Well, I think
terrifying.
Futaro's dad heard the job from the Quint's
Yeah.
dad. So like, he's like, I
okay.
need a tutor, blah blah blah. It's like, and then Futaro's dad was like, oh, my son's super smart. He'll be able to do it, whatever. So like, that's how they know, because like both of the dads
really?
are friends.
Oh yeah. By the way, once again, we'll get to this later, but Futuro's dad, the Quintuplets dad, is literally being Edgar.
Oh yeah, just like
what they were
anyone with black hair or blonde hair, like their designs look like so like similar.
Anybody
We're like,
who's-
it's us. Like,
anybody who's more kind of assertive and serious black hair, and anybody who's like with blonde hair, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's me and Edgar. like let me like there was this time, and the reason why I figured that out was there was this time in high school where it was my birthday one day, and we were in an AP U.S. history, and I kept on saying it's my birthday. And
Oh
Edgar
my
was like, oh my
God.
god, shut up! I'm trying to work, and I was like, but it's my birthday.
I wanted to strangle you so bad. I'm like, shut the hell up. I don't care if it's your
Yeah.
birthday.
I do,
We
yeah.
have an essay due that we had put off up until this day. And then I got so mad because we're like 2 days into rehearsal for a play that we just got into. And I'm trying to mess around with Ben. He's like, Ben, we got Edgar. We got to fucking shut up. I'm like, no, you shut up. Our grades actually matter. We don't care about this show. And then me and Eric would always get back at you and mess with you in choir. That's
Yeah, that was good. Because I was always serious in choir. And you guys were joking around. Yeah.
in theater and choir, I'm serious. And
Yeah.
in classes that matter, Ben's like, all right, let's just fool around.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's nice. It's just an introduction to all these
Yeah.
ones. and
Reason-
yeah.
Off the get go, from just this first arc, was Miku the one that you liked, essentially your pick? Because Yotsuba I liked a lot because she was just the nicest one from like the start. So
No,
obviously
I think Ichigo was my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, and overall, I will say Ichigo would have if I was
she was my second pick too.
if there were anybody like who I would probably, it would probably be Ichigo. She's the most, I would say, if we're talking about like my real life actual 3D girlfriend, right?
3D,
3D.
non-body pillow
Yeah,
girlfriend.
exactly. I would say she probably embodies like a mix between Yotsuba and Ichigo, in terms of how mature Ichigo is and how nice and overall just caring for others Yotsuba is. So I like Yotsuba and but I also felt bad for me. Like I was like, oh, I kind of hope Miku wins because she's kind of like, she was sweet.
Yeah,
you know?
but the reason why I liked her, but later in the season, like more closer to the ending, the reason why I didn't side with her so much is because I was starting to see her like she's kind of a bait waifu in a sense that they kind of want you to feel sorry for her, or
Yeah.
like they want you to root for her because she's very, timid and she
Very
has a lot of
sullen.
things to work
She's
for.
a little bit obvious of a choice.
And she's like quote unquote the first one to openly see like, oh, she likes him because you know what I mean? Because she's like the
Yeah.
first one that we start seeing something about, so people instantly go to her. And she's she's cute and adorable. But
Yeah.
I was starting to fall off that wagon. And I'm like, okay, she's kind of like bait waifu. So I'm like,
Yeah.
and there's like a lot of other reasons that I tend to follow that I don't really like her that much compared to the
Yeah,
other girls.
and we'll rank them towards we'll rank everybody
this'll be
towards the end. Yeah, I know. We're gonna
incite war.
We're gonna incite a civil war.
Yeah,
I know. So if you want to jump to that point and see chaos ensue, go ahead.
yeah.
So then we had the fireworks festival, and this is when I realized what this series was. It was every single romance trope hitting you upside the head over and over and over.
Every
and over
cliche,
again with
every
every
yeah.
quintuplet. Like Isugi in this arc did not have a break. He was, and we talked about this in our movie review. He was straight up like. He watched the fireworks with Nino. He was carrying Yotsuba, I think he
Miku.
was carrying Miku.
Yeah.
He was, what else was he like? He was chasing after Ichika.
There was a misunderstanding in the alley with
Yeah.
them holding each other or hugging each other.
Yeah.
Like
oh
with
yeah,
with
Ichiga. Yeah, Ichiga and the people were like, "Oh my god, you guys are such a cute couple," and they were like, "No."
No.
But
No,
yeah.
that one happens with Itsuki.
Whatever. Come on.
No, that's what I
Give me
mean,
a
because like it happens
break.
with every little thing happens
Yeah, I
with
know.
only one of
With
them.
only one of them. Yeah,
But yeah, this is the arc where we found out what Ichika does for a living. She's an
Yes.
arc. I thought, honestly, I don't know if I have to bleep this out. I thought she was like a prostitute or something like that, or it led me to believe. It leads you to believe that
I thought she was more of a
like a stripper or something.
more of a lewd. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I thought she was.
It
more
leads
of
you.
like a
It
lewd
leads you to
actress.
believe that. I'm like, oh my god, this is getting really serious.
I never thought she was like a actress or anything. I thought she was like a model. Like I thought that's what she was gonna do.
Yeah.
And she would like dress up in these really skimpy outfits.
Creepy guy with the mustache. I just assumed like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, but
this
he's
is like,
chill. You know.
Oh no, yeah,
He
he's
just wanted her to work.
Yeah.
Like, and I get the feeling.
Yeah.
Don't worry. But yeah, I genuinely like. I feel like this story for all the side characters, it makes you be like, oh, I hate that guy, like the dad and that guy, and then the
pretty chill.
and then the sparkly boy, and then at the end you're like, oh no, I like Sparkle guy, you know?
Yeah, not the My Hero
yeah.
Academia one, like the different one.
Different Sparkle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the next time we got the second year midterm exam. This is when I really started to get annoyed because damn, these people are
Refresh
dumb.
my memory on this. What happens? Did they just take the exam and whatnot?
So this was the time where I think they get in a fight.
Oh, is this the one where she like leaves their apartment for a bit or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. And then also the dad says, "Oh, if they don't pass, you know, we're gonna fire you." It was kind of that spell of when everybody was kind of going against Futuro, and like, you know, it was that spell of when everybody was like, "Oh no, we don't want you," you know. And I was at this point, I was like, "Didn't that happen last arc?" You know?
Yeah.
And I will say, until the movie, and I thought the movie was great, and the final act was great. The second act, well, it dragged on a little bit, and its similarities of what it did in past arcs.
In the second act of the film?
No, not the film. The film is great. The second act of the story.
You mean like the second
of
season?
The story over the second season. Yes, there you go.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, not much really happens. I think that this is actually the arc that has my favorite moment of the series, which is the moment with Yotsuba. I think
it's when she admits that she likes him, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just kidding."
No, not that. That wasn't my favorite moment. I know that's the moment that made you choose her.
That's it. That's it. I'm in love. Like that's it.
But for me, it was the moment where he goes on the swing set with her. And
all yeah. That one's really nice.
Which does evolve back. And we'll talk about this when we get to more overall talking. I do think that Itsuki and Yotsuba were really, really sidelined.
Yeah, they're kind of sidelined through a majority of
the story.
In general, a majority up until the end, but Itsuki kind of stays like that the entire story.
It's weird, right?
But Yotsuba becomes
Itsuki doesn't really have anything.
Yeah,
like any moments.
That's why I felt like that's why I was worried that she was going to be the one chosen because she was the first one that meets it that we see in the beginning of the show, and she's like the one that only spends time with the family.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna choose like the blandest one. I feel like it's not a hot take to say out of all of them,
Itsuki is the blandest.
Yeah,
one.
as much of a hot take that Ichika should have won, I feel like Itsuki would have been a worse call because of how they did nothing with her.
But yeah, this arc was really getting on my nerves because I was like, damn, these girls are dumb. Like, holy moly. And especially Yotsuba. Yotsuba at this point in the story, hey, listen.
Hey.
At the beginning of this arc, I was like, Yotsuba's the worst one, like by far. But then that moment happened and she immediately shot up and I was like, okay, great. I was like, she had a great moment and it was really, really good. And it was a great moment. But yeah, now we have the school camping trip, and this one's
really good.
Yeah, this one is really good. This is when we start to kind of humanize Nino. Nino.
Yeah, because earlier she like looks at his wallet and she's like, "Oh my God, is this your cousin? He's so hot." Who has a picture of their cousin in their wallet?
It's a little kid, bro.
No, I know, but they're both teenagers, so at least like
fine.
one's not older than the other.
Of course.
Yeah, it's like when the girls in high school are like, "Oh my God, Justin Bieber, it's so cute."
And this also makes me be like I do love Fukuro's hair, but I think I don't know.
He has that cow-looky thing.
He does have that cow, and I don't think we talked about this. I talked about this a few weeks ago, that he kind of looked like a hentai protagonist at times.
And it turns out it would hide his eyes sometimes.
Like when he would hide his eyes.
They kind of lift up further along in the manga.
Yeah, no, and the designs for all the quintuplets and then eventually Futuro is really good. But I actually think I would be interested to see like somebody with like Futuro's hair in this arc, like where he has the blonde wig. I think it would.
He looks good in blonde hair.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think he should have they should have had him have the. I understand in the story it means like it means something that he doesn't have the blonde hair anymore. But I think I was just like I would be interested to see somebody with the blonde hair have a personality like Futuro, right? Because all the blonde hair dudes that we see
are rebellious.
Yes, because in Japan,
yeah.
right, especially in the 80s and 90s, when you dyed your hair blonde, that meant you were a rebel. That meant you were, this new age kind of punk rock.
Tanaka had blonde hair like in Haikyuu.
Which is why when Gohan shows up in his Super Saiyan form in front of Chi-Chi, she's like, my son is a delinquent, and she's like, you dyed your hair blonde, he's a delinquent and all that stuff. Nowadays it doesn't mean that anymore. Nowadays if you have blonde hair, it usually means you're part of a pop band and you're a huge celebrity,
or you're just like the Western culture and you want to have that
so a lot
style.
of people have blonde hair in Japan, and I think a lot of the times when I see it they look great. But I mean a lot of Japanese people have black hair, so that's why a lot of pro tags they have black hair. But I mean, I think he looks great with it, and I thought it would be interesting to see him like have a personality that's more sullen, with that blonde hair, because as we talked about earlier, blonde hair is always like that kind of guy. But
but this is when it gets interesting, because it does humanize in a sense, with Nino, and it's really interesting. Like, oh my gosh, he loves Futuro technically, but it's not. She doesn't know it's him, so like it creates like some weird plot intricacies. I guess you know what I mean.
Do you know like? And then we have that moment where he's like locked up in the place with
with Ichika.
Ichika, that was a good one.
That's when she became my second favorite. I really liked her, and she's the one, not me. And I know people are like, oh, why do you like not fall for like. I don't fall for Miku's like, oh, pity her, like the one that's like. But when I saw Ichika, I related to her to a lot. In a
I
sense,
didn't fall for any of them because they're 2D women. But keep going.
Okay, well that's you know what
I know what you
Edgar.
mean.
I touch grass.
I'm kidding.
I'm out. I'm ending the story.
No. Sit your ass back down.
Jesus, what a shot.
Yeah, sorry.
But
I'm messing with you.
No, it's okay. I'll get you back. Anyway,
I'm watching my back. Yeah,
when you're not watching. I felt I like really felt for Ichika in a sense of like I'm in love, or I like someone who will probably not feel the same, or like, everything I do, it has no like how do you say? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything I do, it's all for nothing.
You know what I also really like about Ishika, and to be honest, she might be the most fascinating character out of all of these people, is because she has kind of taken that mantle as the mom of the family, you know? Like she's kind of Katara in that sense, but she doesn't, complain about it obviously every 5 seconds. I love Katara, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because she pays because her job, she does it to pay
for. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I think when people were harsh on her, I was like, don't you forget that literally they're living on her payroll, right? Don't you forget that stuff, because later on I genuinely think it is fascinating that it is her, that because she's the person who brings them all back together, right? She's the person who plans all the stuff, who does all these things. So like it just shows her love to Futuro is real, that she would go to these lengths. And also it is also due to another character who I severely dislike. But anyway, not severely, but she gets on my nerves a lot. But yeah, this was a good arc. This was also the arc I realized that Yotsuba was going to win because she had her hand on his ring finger.
I did not catch that, by the way. When you pointed it out, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is also the skiing.
You also have to remember, sometimes when I read stuff, I look at stuff and I look at it and I'm like, I look at it way longer than I should, and I'm like, Yotsuba's ring finger. So I was like,
this was also the skiing trip one, right? Yeah, this one was cool. Trip. This is the one where I'm like, even in the anime, I was like, okay, who's who? Because like Itsuki's sick, but Ichika is impersonating. But like I was like losing it. I'm like,
oh yeah, and it's like this is the first time. What something I really liked about the story was like Futuro is getting hit with all these tropes, and he's kind of reacting to them like what the like when people are like, when you dance by the bonfire you're together forever, and Futuro's like,
okay, and
yeah. He's like, are you serious? I don't want to hang out, dog.
yeah.
But I thought that was great. And then we get kind of more in the Futuro flashback arc, which is the next one. We just kind of get a nice little thing of him as a younger kid and meeting Reina, right?
Yeah.
The
mysterious girl that he met a long time ago.
Who took the mom's name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was great. Then we have the Labor Thanksgiving arc. And this was the one where they try to give him gifts, maybe?
Is this the one where he yeah, I think I remember this. This is when they went to the mall and picked out gifts for like the sisters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I remember. This is like one
I know, and they were in the changing room together. Yotsuba, yeah. Another good Yotsuba moment happened in there. Yeah. That was interesting. The 7 Goodbyes arc. Which one is this one?
Let me read the summary.
Oh, this was the huge fight. This is when the huge fight happened. So Nino still hasn't accepted.
Oh, this is when it happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the final time she drugs him is in this arc.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because this is the one. This is the one where she moves out of the apartment for a brief time, or she leaves. Yeah. She leaves the apartment,
and then it ends. This is where I stopped reading. And then it ends where Yotsuba, she gets shackled by the creepy school track leader, and she's like,
"Oh yeah, you're in with us."
Like, what are you talking about? Like we have a thing in the next couple of days. But my favorite moment from Nino was when she dressed up as Yotsuba, and we get that awesome panel, and I saved it on my phone because like I'm gonna use it so often. Like, are you stupid or something? I was like,
she that cold eyes that Nino has. Like.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, it was really funny. It was great, and then Nino.
This is also a moment where this is the moment where Futuro dresses up as his cousin, and then she's like. And then she calls Futuro, like, he's at my house, and then Futuro's on the other like room. He's like, oh, he's at your apartment?
He's at your apartment.
He's like, yeah, let me go get him. He's like, wait.
And then he's like, wait. Yeah. He's like, oh, he's over there. That's great.
Yeah.
That's so funny,
it's really funny. And then she's like, I really like that because we start saying that. Does she find out that it's Futuro here?
Yes.
Yeah.
She figures it out and she says, "What do you think? I'm stupid or something?" And I'm like, "Yes. If you didn't figure it out until right now." Yes.
Why would I have a picture of my cousin in my own wallet?
Yeah.
Like,
yes, you are dumb.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then we get the 7 Goodbyes arc. I mean, that's what we just had. Then we get the New Residence arc, which is where
they move out, right?
Yeah, and Futuro quits his job and basically like kind of cusses at the father, and he's like,
yeah, this is when
like,
their midterms weren't good, so like he's like, oh, if you didn't pass the midterms, I'm not gonna pay for your like whatever, and you have to like switch blah 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 blah. Or something like that, and then the sisters decided we still want to keep Futuro, but if you don't want to, because like the father was like, I'm gonna change you to new school, you're gonna do blah blah blah, and like we don't want to do that. We want to keep Futuro, whatever we can do it, and he's like, all right, then I'm taking the whatever away, and that's when they got the new place that they were staying at, and Futuro gave his father like a new one, telling
stinky place.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's not really a downgrade from their fancy apartment.
No, definitely. I mean, not much happens other than them living, just going on.
Isn't there the moment where he like falls in the water and they all go with him or something like that?
Yeah, I think that is what happens. But yeah, and literally Ichiga is just paying for this apartment for like a month by herself.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I was legit like, I would be so pissed. I'd be like, you're getting a job, all right? Like
somebody has to do something. Can't be doing everything.
And they're all just like, there's this one arc where they're all just like this one chapter where they're all just hanging out and they're like, yeah, we should get jobs. And Ichiga is so nice. Like, she's like, yeah, maybe you guys should. I would be like, no, you're gonna get a job and you're gonna like it.
It's SpongeBob when you do the job.
Yeah. And you're gonna like it. Yeah. But yeah, that pissed me off. Like genuinely. And I think people are, a lot of times manga readers, they have very much recency bias. Like right now, right now, like the most recent My Hero Academia chapters are really bad, so people are like, "Oh, the manga is awful," right? And I think that's a case for a lot of manga readers. And I think that definitely when I was reading the comments, these people definitely had recency bias, you know. But yeah, and I loved. It was really fun to read the comments because people was like, "Religion of Miku rises up," you know, like Miku has a good chapter.
Miku and like Nino fans are like the majorities and the loudest ones.
And they're like, "Oh yes, rise, Ichika fans, rise! We have awoken," you know, when they have a good chapter, which is very funny. I didn't see any Itsuki fans, but yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like she nothing happens with her.
And then this was might be the best or the best well done arc until the final arc. I would say is the second year last exam arc. It was really good that we get the their like own sides to it. You know how they got past this exam. So I thought that was really good. Like I genuinely thought.
I don't
really
remember
good.
much from this, so
it was just them. And I know they were like fighting to see like who was going to win and stuff, but apparently
which one had the highest grade?
Yeah.
And then some of them
and
said
Miku was like, I did it. And then Ichigo was like, nope, nope, I'm the GOAT.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like if I get a good grade or get the highest grade, I'll confess to Futoto.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, this is it, baby, this is it, and like no,
no, it is not. Yeah, then it's got the scrambled eggs arc.
What? That's a weird arc to name. Scrambled eggs arc. Like,
yeah, I actually don't like that.
I mean, when you have stuff only in high school, you can't really name it like the blah 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 war arc.
How was this arc only 2 episodes? It felt like it was so long for me. It was only 2 episodes in the anime.
I guess I really don't remember what happens. Let me read the summary.
This is the hot spring resort arc.
That's what they called this the scrambled eggs arc. I remember this being 4 episodes.
2 episodes, jeez.
I actually like this arc, but this is the one where
I like this arc. But
this is the one where people start disliking.
I wish I watched Love Is War because I could have made a reference to it. How does the opening start? But love is actually blah blah blah. You know, love. People think love is blah blah blah.
People, they're wrong. Love is a war. There are winners and losers. Whoever admits their love first. This is when it starts. This is like when Nino confronts Ichika, and they both admit to themselves that they both love Futuro, and Nino starts like being much more aggressive with her tactics, like
aggressive,
like walking into the hot spring where Futuro is, almost
like,
naked, and he's like, "What? Which one are you?" And then she like slaps him, and then Ichika dresses up as Miku and tells her that Ichika loves Futuro, and then she's okay with it, and people are like, "All right, she's the worst," but like I don't know. When it comes to this side of Ichika, it reminds us of the selfish human sides of us that we don't want to talk about, because like
that's what I said.
We're not angels. If you think, I mean, there are good people who don't do bad things, but this reminds me of all the cringeworthy or like stuff that I'm ashamed of that very humanizes us as characters and much makes us unique, although imperfect.
Ichiga, to be honest, other than Yotsuba, Ichiga so far has been the most self-sacrificing one out of the entire group, right? Yeah. She works for the family. They're basically on her payroll, right?
Yeah.
You know, for the entirety of the time.
But she's also selfish for herself. She wants things in life, and she would do, not very good things to get it. But I respect. I don't know. I just sympathize with her in that way, and people hated on her ridiculous
But
amounts.
she feels like she really likes Futuro, and she feels like she doesn't have any other way of doing it other than doing what she knows, which is acting, right?
I know that helpless feeling.
This is what I'm saying. Ichiga, like in terms of developed character, top to bottom, she's the best of the quintuplets, in my opinion.
I think she's second best, but I do agree with your statement.
Yes,
yeah.
I in terms of, I don't think she's the best, right?
Okay. I thought you said the best.
I'm talking about like in terms of character development.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Developed all around, because this plays into the fact that she's an actress. It also plays into the fact of her self-sacrificing, and she does feel bad after it, right? But she's like, but I need to do it, otherwise I don't have a chance.
I have no stake in this game if I don't do something. You know what I mean?
Exactly, because like Miku, or not Miku, Nino, like she's, and here we go.
Oh, this is your hot take?
Here we go. Here's my hot take. She's the worst. I'm sorry. Listen. She may not be the blandest one. She may not be the but she's the worst. All right, and
Not even when her moment comes, like when
her moment is great. Like her moment is great, and
Yeah.
her moments are really good. However, and I don't like hate her,
Yeah.
but I knew immediately in terms of the person who will never win this game, who will never get with Futuro, is her.
Yeah.
And I could immediately tell, and all their conversations is so conflictual. Like she's so controlling. She reminds me of like
Lauren.
no. All
the girls remind me of Lauren.
No,
like
I would not be dating Lauren if she was like as controlling as this. But she's like, I confessed to him. Why didn't he say he liked me? Why didn't he say it back? Or she says stuff like, no, we're gonna do this, And she's also like with Miku, and she's like it was a sweet moment. But before that, she was like Miku. She was like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna like on top of her, and I was like, oh my. I was like, you're so aggressive. Chill out.
and so same thing with
know?
Ichika. She's like, what are you gonna get him? Oh, I'm gonna get something better, like for his birthday, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And like to be honest, like Miku and Ichiga in these next 3 arcs, they were the most annoying for me.
You mean
like,
Nino
and Nino
Miku?
and Ichiga. Sorry.
Oh, Ichika too?
Nino and Ichiga. And these 3 arcs were the most annoying because they
Ichika though, right?
Yes, Ichiga.
Okay,
because they caused Futuro the most like
Yeah.
stress of his life, And he's just like
Well, they were the 2 most active in the war of love. You know what I mean? They were the 2. They were the ones playing the game the most.
Yeah, they were, but I mean, it's still annoying. Like, come
Yeah.
on, like let my man enjoy. And I'm talking about like in terms of conflictual things. Like, dude, to be honest, like her walking up to him like in that hot spring right there, I'm just like that rubbed me the wrong way. Like
I don't know, man. I would be like, yo, what's up? Listen, you have a girlfriend. I don't.
Yes.
If someone did that
Yeah,
to me, I'd be like...
But Itsugi, right? Futuro was like, no, get away. Like
Futuro fumbled the bag so hard.
Oh yeah, come on.
The dichotomy of 2 men.
Understand that I just think that she's the most conflictual, and for me as a human being, I'm not attracted to that. Like, I'm not attracted to somebody who seeks out conflict.
A lot of people forget that even though there is a clear choice, we have different tastes in people and who we like. Obviously, no, even though it's written well, I feel like we should always remember that just because our types didn't win doesn't mean that the story is good, and people forget about that.
Definitely.
But that's what makes this entire thing interesting. Is yes, sometimes other characters are not as well written, but sometimes even the most popular and well written ones are not our types.
Yeah.
So that's why I always find this series fascinating and always roll my eyes when I hear, "Oh, this person should have won." Oh, they were oh, it was supposed to be written
In
like
the end,
this. I'm like,
it kind of doesn't matter who wins, because Yotsuba. I mean, obviously the creator left a little void in Yotsuba to set that up.
Slight spoiler. If we're jumping into that,
but he could have set up anybody to be that character, to be the one that he meets. And it looks like it's going to be Itsuki for a little while, because not in this arc, but later on she dresses up. But yeah. Then we get the new class arc. They kind of just get a new class, and then the Sparky dude.
Futuro makes male friends.
Yeah.
I think
crazy?
officially, right?
Yeah. And then he like you hate this. I know you hate this. He goes up to him like at the urinal to talk with him.
Oh my dude. Right after,
and when he's having like the poo problems too, he's like, you're gonna be my rival, right? And Futuro's like, and they're like, like,
dude,
squatting one down.
I was in we just walked out of Quintessential Quintuplets film. There's like 8 urinals. I picked the one I picked the first one, but it's still in the corner. The first one, and the rest of them are empty.
Yeah.
This guy picks the one right next to me. What are you doing? I was like, I purposely moved my head in his direction, even though I didn't want to look at him, but I wanted him to know, bro, are you serious? Are you serious right now?
I hate you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But literally, like, Futuro had to deal with this. I think it happens like 4 or 5 times where he like talks to him, and he's acting like a kind of like a rival that you have in Pokemon, where they're like,
all right, I'll see you later.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, I don't care about you.
And he gets a really nice moment where his dad, who's the head of the program, is like, oh, here's these, answers for you, son. Which is just awful. Like that's the worst.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's also when Futuro and Yotsuba become the representatives of the class because of the new class
Yes,
they're in.
and Yotsuba's like, I know who'd be a great one. And
That
it's like,
guy who doesn't want
that
anything
guy,
to-
and he's over there in the corner, and he's like, what?
And everyone's like, who is that? Like,
Yeah.
that nobody?
I do think it's a little bit absurd that Isugi, like, nobody knows who he is. Like
He's the one hanging out with the 5 hottest girls in the school all the time. How can you not know who that guy is? Who has the strongest
also the
riz
fact that
in the world?
the fact that he's like, the fact that everybody's like, oh, who are these quintuplets? If a quintuplets went to your school, you'd know who they were.
I knew the
you
twins
know?
that were in the schools
Yeah,
that we went to.
exactly.
They're just like, they're clones. How can you not know them? You know what I mean?
And then we get a really short arc, Futuro's birthday, where everybody's kind of just fighting about his birthday. Then this arc was when I was genuinely like, okay, this story is kind of getting on my nerves. But luckily, the movie, the final arc,
I liked it. I don't remember much from it, but I liked it. And this was kind of a conclusion of a few things.
It's called the Sisters' War. It should have been called the War Arc.
Yeah,
Come
right.
on. Come on, you had a perfect opportunity to call it the War Arc.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
Yeah, but this is like where people drew the line. Like, yeah, Ichika is officially the
Yeah.
worst of the. I don't think so, but people, understandably in a sense, so
Yeah, and
decided that.
Nino kind of takes Ichika's role and forcing her to like apologize and stuff, which I liked. But still, Nino still got on my nerves. Like there's like it's just small conversations that happened where she would say things, and I was like, oh, I hate the chick.
Ben doesn't like assertive women.
However, her moment, like when she dressed up as Yotsuba, might be one of my favorites in the show. You know, which I thought was great. But yeah,
and this is but back on Ichika, this is when she dresses up as Miku and purposely tries to like sabotage everything and to get Futuro to like her.
Especially Miku. Like if it was anybody else, maybe if it was Nino, it would have been in better taste. I know people would have hated it more because
I feel like that's why they hate her. I feel like if Ichika did this to any of the other sisters, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But Miku's the one you're supposed to feel sorry for already, and Ichika's purposely attacking her. I don't know why. I forget. Does she think that Miku has the best chance of ending up with Futuro?
No, I think that she knows that Miku is the most honest. I think that's what she goes with.
Yeah.
Is that Miku is like, she will flat out tell you something, I think that's what she goes with.
Yeah. I'm baffled by why it was that one.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, she felt bad for it, but Futuro catches on and realizes, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't right.
Going back, we had that good moment with Miku in the arc where he says, "Oh, so you're Ichika, right?" And then she leaves away with her hand.
Oh, that's this one. That's this one, I believe.
No, that's the last one.
This is the Kyoto trip.
Yes, but this happens.
Oh,
this happens in the Scrambled Eggs arc.
Okay.
And she's like, and he's
but
like,
this.
Oh yeah, because we didn't even talk about the Quintuplets game in that arc.
Oh yeah,
like,
where they dressed up as Itsuki, and you have to guess which one.
Because of the grandfather.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't like that they were developing their own personalities, which is weird. Like that's what you kind of want.
Well, yeah, but the way he phrased it, he's like, "You're your own people, no matter what you are. You don't have to make yourself obviously different by being a different person."
I don't know.
I mean, I get it, but like,
I just think that just happened, But I don't know.
But I get what he means. It's like
means,
it's because that's literally why they started changing their appearances for that reason, because they wanted to be different from each other solely for that reason, not because like they like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, they started playing the games, and then at the end of the Scrambled Eggs arc, Futuro kissed one of the Itsukis that were
we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, and they rung the bell under that, and it was supposed to symbolize, oh my god, the one he kissed is the one he's supposed to end up with, but they're all dressed up as Itsuki, so we don't really know who it was. So that was frustrating, but it was really interesting. But back to the Kyoto trip.
The way this arc ends is
with Miku, right?
It is with like, Miku, and she's like, and she's like, and I love you, my sisters, and I'm like,
yeah, I like this thing, that thing, and you,
and you,
right behind. Get out of the way,
Yeah,
you're in the way.
You're in the way. Yeah, which I mean, it's kind of similar to what Futuro did at the beginning of the series when they were like, Futuro, what guy do you like, or what girl do you like? And he was like, dependable, cooks good, and does all this stuff, and it's my sister.
Sweet home, man.
No, stop.
Okay.
That's when I was. That's because, to be honest, the best girl in this series is Reiha. Let's not kid ourselves. It's Isugi's sister. She cooks for the entire family, and she's only like 13 years old. Like she's
13. Calm down.
She's always. That's just because she's the best girl doesn't mean I'm attracted to her.
No,
right?
no, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean.
But she handles with the dad, who is just like a crazy kind of.
She kind of, in a sense, was helping Futuro end up with Itsuki in a sense, because she was like, "Oh, come to dinner," like, "Oh, blah blah blah."
Yeah, but I just think that she,
being nice.
But to be honest, she was closest to Yotsuba as the whole thing was going on.
Yeah.
But at the end of this arc, we get that nice Miku thing. We get a good chapter where it was like kind of like a behind the scenes thing.
I think
where Miku or Nino and Ichigo were putting things in place so that Miku could have her nice moment.
Yeah, they kind of buried the hatchet this arc,
which was nice. I really liked it. And then we get where you're like, okay, it's Yotsuba at the end of this arc, right? Because Itsuki, who has been dressing up as Reina, sits down and she's like, oh, I wish I could tell him and stuff like that. And kind of at this point, I just kind of wish Itsuki was the only one who wasn't attracted to Futuro, I think that would be, I thought that would be funny.
She wasn't in the end, though, wasn't she?
No. We don't.
I don't think she was. I don't think she was.
She doesn't really says whether or not she was, but
she does put herself as an option.
Yeah, she
to
does.
like, oh, I'm just gonna assume you're in love with me, but I but I don't.
Exactly. I mean, she does blush around Futuro.
Yeah,
but then she's like, we know it was you,
Yotsuba,
and then it's Yotsuba, and let me pull up the panel that it's in, because Yotsuba kind of looked creepy in this part. Like, she was kind of like, it's okay, and I was like, what the fuck?
What are you
I was like, oh my god. I don't know, maybe it's because I was reading it late at night last night, and it just scared me a little bit.
Watch it be like the cutest panel of her, and
it might be, to be honest.
Okay, let's
see if we could find it.
Oh no, this is.
See, it's a little bit like
it's not.
Like the no.
No, it's not. If anything, the creepiest moment was with Ichika's when she pretends to be Nino and her eyes are kind of really vague and like white,
Yeah. And then immediately, which is really well done by the movie, to do this, chapter 88 was immediately the movie. Like, I was genuinely like, oh hey, because I remember this guy. I think he's supposed to be like Maradona.
Really?
Yeah, because he has the Argentinian. I think he'd like designed it off of Maradona.
Okay.
Because this actually,
I just called him Chubby Messi.
Yeah, he might have made this. They might have made this the same year Maradona died. I don't know.
I know the mangaka for Quintessential Quintuplets was following the
World Cup.
The World Cup.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And he's in Argentina. He was rooting for Argentina.
Of course he was. Not Japan. Stinky.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, and then we see the mom for the first time, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like the manga artist actually like spent probably hours on her face.
Yeah. But the movie did it differently. It didn't do the flashbacks of the kids, of the mom and the kids, like the movie did.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, the manga completely starts off like that. They did cut one thing from the manga. It's when like they show off the dad, and the dad. It's the chapter when the dad adopts the girls right after. It shows them.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. If you go forward, there's like a scene where they're at a dinner. They're at a.
This also reveals Yotsuba was actually the first one who met Futuro.
Oh yeah. So the movie doesn't.
Yeah, she actually met him also in the cafeteria first too, right? Because it looks like that.
She notices him. I think she's the first one to notice him.
She's the first one to notice him, yeah. Which plays a big part, because we see here there are odd people here too, huh? And and Futuro's like, this is the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't Attack on Titan like a flashback on us?
Yeah.
Like, not really, but
I believe there's a chapter that's called like
Attack Titan,
or it's like I saw it. It was
to you in 1,000 years.
I think it was like that. I think it was like you 2,000 years from that. Oh yeah, the Binding Legend Day 2000. That reminded
what?
me.
Yeah,
that reminded me of Attack on Titan. But yeah, and then basically this arc, we just kind of realized that Yotsuba is like the biggest Futuro supporter.
Yeah.
And this was the arc where I was genuinely like, yeah, like Yotsuba is my favorite. Like in terms of not my favorite, like not the one who I would pick, but in terms of like Futuro, who he would pick, it's Yotsuba.
Yeah.
Like Yotsuba changed his life, So
And she wanted to be better because of him and to make, herself.
which is just like a healthy relationship. Like
Yeah.
like in all of these stories, like a lot of these stories he would have gotten with Nino, right?
Yeah.
Because she's the tsundere, she's the one who went through the most change. However, she was still confrontational. That does not like there can be good relationships and they be confrontational, where they argue a lot. But like I would just say that healthy relationships are just like this. It's similar to how Avatar: The Last Airbender, people were like, oh, Katara should get with Zuko because like Aang and Katara have no chemistry, like they're too nice to each other. It's like, what? I was like, that makes no sense.
Y'all
I
not
was like,
want
these
peace in
people-
your lives?
these
like
people want toxic relationships.
Yeah.
This is the arc that I need to read after this, or not the arc. These are the chapters I need to read after this because this is how they started the movie, right?
Yeah, but it was like in a montage thing. Albeit, I was kind of fine with it because nothing really big happens. But they go through like
Ada.
I know, right? But they go through. But there's like dialogue.
This is a nice Itsuki moment where she goes, "What do you think of my swimsuit?"
Yeah.
Where she's like, "Hey, look at me, swimsuit. Hey."
Yeah, maybe she does like him after all. Yeah, Ichika has the best swimsuit of all.
Sorry,
Wait, what are they
that was
doing? What is
funny.
Futuro doing?
Yeah.
Wait, what are they doing?
Yeah.
I noticed that Futuro and
what are you
Ichiki
doing?
always have like a caught up in the moments. like,
What is this?
I don't
Sorry,
know.
we're looking at the arc where they they hug him and all that stuff, and they do hearts.
Oh yeah, who cares about Ninamiku? Oh yeah, we don't care about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but it really goes in the film. It just shows a montage of it, but they make it a full fleshed out chapter to scene at the water park.
This
it's
seems. I could see how people might have been angry about them skipping this because this kind of seems like an Itsuki moment.
yeah.
So I did see some anger about them getting this cut. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was only a chapter long. It looks like.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just jump back into this stuff, and now we're at the movie, which is, and if you want to hear our thoughts about that, go into our Shonen Junk, and you can check all that stuff out. But we'll be talking about this arc in a more overall kind of sense of the story,
Yeah.
and as a whole. Yotsuba, the correct pick, Edgar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
agree.
think she was the correct pick, and she was my pick to win.
Great storytelling, how they chose her.
Yeah.
I genuinely think
Like
so.
I said before, just because your type didn't win doesn't mean the story was bad, or your pick didn't win doesn't mean
No.
the story was bad. I feel like people, I don't know, they just don't think whenever it comes to situations like these. They just they like one character, but they don't think of the main character. Like, are you stupid? Remember, you're not ending up with a girl. It's
you
Futuro.
Also, you
Like,
also have to remember,
really?
like, the issue with manga is that it comes out weekly over a long stretch of time. So it lets people's mind flow through with imagination, right?
Yeah.
Whereas a movie, you watch a movie and then it happens. It's another reason why, Game of Thrones was so badly ended was because we thought up of just like other great scenarios and stuff like that. This might be
Also-
actually one of the best panels of the entire manga. Jeez Louise.
there's another one,
That's some great screen tone usage.
Also, one of the
Yeah.
worst takes and worst theories I've ever heard was like if he ends up with all of them, that's like a shot in the.
What about my theory about how all of them are the same person?
That one's better than than he ends up with all of them. Because I was like, what's the point? That's stupid. There's like no one wins in that scenario. That's like a participation award of
That's a
endings.
participation award.
That's like no one wants that.
Would you have liked if he ended up with none of them?
No, that'd be stupid.
That would be stupid.
That'd be
as well,
worse actually than him ending up with all of them.
yeah. Really?
Because that's like, oh yeah, I wasn't smart enough to like make an actual ending, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna give up.
Do we know who published this, Edgar? It was this.
It was Viz.
Are you sure?
Viz.
Viz doesn't normally do.
Kodansha.
Oh, Kodansha.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was probably Kodansha. It's either Kodansha or it's either the Oh, what is it?
It's not Dark Horse.
It's like it's not. Well, some of them do
it's
Dark
not.
Horse.
It's not.
But
it's
the-
not
but
Seven
the-
Seas.
It's not Seven Seas.
No,
okay.
it's not.
It's either it's for romances. It's either always Kodansha or Seven Seas, or maybe
or Shonen Jump
or
sometimes.
Shonen Plus. Yeah, is what they do with that. I don't know. Do you know romance that comes from Shonen?
Yeah, Nisekoi.
Oh, yeah,
Nisekoi.
yeah.
That's a big Shonen Jump one. Love is War,
Who does-
technically.
who does Nagatoro?
I honestly don't know that one. But yeah, this
I'm trying to find I want to see how the manga looked when they were having their each individual segments. in the
okay, I see what you
movie.
mean. Yeah, this is the end of one, kinda.
Yeah, this is the end of one. What's the name of this chapter?
Oh no, it's the next one. Sorry.
The last fest. No, it is. You're right. It's Ishiga's side. So that's the last festival.
Say what we talked about.
What is the comment saying? Maybe they can.
Okay, nice things.
Yeah, all my sayings. Yeah, see, bandwagon. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
see,
saying.
bandwagon is the perfect way to sum up this
Yeah.
entire series. Y'all really like to hate on it just because everyone else doesn't. Really like to simp for Miku and Nino just I don't know. Like I feel like people really didn't think for themselves or for Futuro and what he would like. They just don't.
But it looks like these people were reading it in the moment, so maybe they were
Yeah.
maybe they thought she won at that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see, because this is Nino's side.
I wonder why don't they show the kissing bro? Yeah, I know. They don't like showing kissing in manga. They just hate it. But I really like to see the comments under who wins.
Yeah, we can check that up.
That we were talking about in the film review how we were like trying to wonder like if everything that happens in the girl's day, if it actually happened or if it's just like because I like to think it actually happened, not like this is like a what if situation. You're trying to copy they were trying to replicate the Yotsuba moment. We're like just kidding or something like that.
Oh yes, agreed.
That's fan art, I think.
That is fan art. Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I don't think he should. I really just don't think he should end up
Yeah.
with all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think all of this stuff happened, Edgar. I think aspects of it did happen. I don't think all of it did. Like this is
See, Yotsuba could be an actress. Who knows? Because she took on the play thing.
She did, but that was to show that she was like
helpful.
But she was doing too much.
Yeah,
because she passes out.
Yeah.
And it also canonically, like we talked about this in the movie, canonically it is like the part that happens is Yotsuba, because Yotsuba in her story she passes out, right? And then in the mainline story, Futuro.
But
he
that
gets
means
a call.
But that means
somebody
Nino
passed
could
out.
also be true if they're at the hospital to see Yotsuba.
They're not at the hospital. Nino isn't.
But she gets the call. That call happens in Nino's story, so that's why I was saying maybe it can be true.
No, maybe yeah.
Yeah. So maybe all of them are true. That was my thing.
Maybe
it's
all
just,
of them
the
are
chapters,
true until the end part where they all kind of like.
I actually think the chapter name throws it off. It's like if whatever days was Nino's or something like that. Yeah. So I just think it throws it off, and which makes it super confusing. Yeah,
everybody hates the biological dad.
Yeah, because he just shows up and like, yeah, no, this is stupid. Don't be a teacher, whatever. I'm like, hey, how about don't leave your kids?
Imagine that.
How about don't leave
this
your
kids?
kids?
This is my favorite part of the movie.
It's when the bros have a bro time.
This reminds me of like the good old days of the bro times during school.
You mean Eric?
Yeah, the good old bro times. Yeah.
And I whispered, or you whispered to me, like they should end up together. Like
yeah.
The bros.
Oh, did we? We did.
Oh yeah, this is the when he chose them.
Yeah.
What do people think? Although I really
yeah,
this is it.
This is when it happens, when he chooses. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
No, go back.
I really like this. I really like how this is drawn.
Yeah.
This is really silly. Yes, but we can go back a chapter.
Yeah, because I think it reveals it then.
We can go back a chapter. Sorry about this, guys. No visual cue for you.
Yeah, we're just watching. We're just going
we're
through
on chapter 114 about now, or 113, I think it is.
I like how God, the movie did it really well because there's like moments where they look back and it's like, oh, did he choose? Yeah, this is when it reveals that Yotsuba won.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so let me go to the comments.
Man, what a good panel, man.
Yeah.
This is really good. And good fan drawings too. Let's see.
Yeah, see,
the
you
first
losers begging for an alternate
Alright.
ending for whichever girl, y'all suck. Go die,
Alright.
make a fan fiction for yourself. I don't care.
Yeah.
God, oh, this guy wrote an essay. Jesus Christ.
No,
No, Miku. That's what you sound
everybody's-
like.
Well, this is probably because the next chapter was all positives
Yeah.
that I've seen. Probably all the other ones dropped it.
Yeah.
I bet you 1,000,000,000%.
Yeah,
on
I
it.
think
although for so long I have to say Yotsuba was the best.
Yeah,
deserving.
because
Yep.
Yotsuba deserved it the most.
Yeah, let's go. Is it just
And not in a
me, or
pitiful
is
way,
a bunch
she
of
really
pages
earned it.
missing? Yeah, definitely. Like
It should have been Nino.
yeah,
Go die in a hole. I don't care. God, y'all suck.
Listen,
Y'all are annoying. Like,
Listen, I mean, you can't say that your one was chosen, so be humble. But
No, but
me
I
as,
still-
me as saying as somebody like go
But
die in a hole.
I know it's me that I chose her, but from like an analytical from like how it was written, she's the one to go with. Like from a storytelling perspective, who Futuro should end up with, not what I like about Yotsuba.
Right.
What Yotsuba does
I
for
also
Futuro.
feel like a lot of times in these kind of chapters or in these kinds of stories where it doesn't end up the way that you want it to, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's because the writer did that." No shiz, Sherlock. Like,
Yeah.
right. That's what writers do. You know.
This should have been a sci-fi story, but it didn't happen because the writer didn't do that.
Yeah.
No,
No.
yeah,
No.
no crap. Like,
come on, man. Dude, I hate that. Yeah. and then
go
we
write a
get
fan fiction if you're so upset about it. But
Wait, did they?
what are you doing? Yeah, the final chapter. Yeah, it's like when
trying
they're
to make sure.
let's go decide at the same time when the trip happens.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. I thought they missed some stuff. So
I
yeah.
don't know. You were just
Uh,
scrolling really fast through it, so
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like most of the people are like, I don't know. There's some more going on in these.
there's
comics.
some loser idiots commenting. No, it
Some-
should have been
Like,
blah.
look how long this thread is.
Dude, it's the same guy with the Miku profile picture.
No. It's because if you don't have a profile picture on the site, it gives you an automatic.
Okay, I was gonna be like, bro, y'all need to go to
They
line.
all don't have the same
I thought it was a
profile picture.
stan
No,
army
no.
of Mikus, and I'm
Stan
like,
army.
what the heck?
Yeah.
But how do you want to do it? Do you want to rank the girls?
I'll rate the story overall, and then you'll rate the story. We should start giving ratings to things. I agree. It just puts it on. But sometimes, like, don't take these ratings to heart. Don't take these rankings
It's
to
how
heart.
I
Yeah.
feel, and I can flip flop for
Yeah.
this one. This one I might actually rate higher than I would analytically.
Yeah.
I personally give it an 8 out of 10 for what it is,
Sure.
but out of all stories in general, probably like a 7.5 or 7.
Sure.
But I really like this series, and if you're getting into a genre like this, and if you expect, you know what you're getting into, and compared to a lot of other romance series, it ends up much better than plenty of other series that I've read before or watched before. So I personally give this an 8 out of 10,
Yeah.
or like a 7.5 out of 10, however you want to will. Ben, how'd you do it?
Yeah. Well, I was looking at my anime list the other day, and
You needed to do some rearranging.
and I did. I did move Fire Force down from a 9 to an 8.
Yeah, I don't know why you gave it an.
Well,
I think
I think the ending was just so good that it gave the
Yeah.
the overall story, in my opinion, is a 7, but the ending is like an 11 out of 10. It's
Yeah.
such a good final arc
Dude,
and final
if
saga.
once you read Soul Eater, it'll be like a 100 out of 10.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
So I moved that down. I don't feel right putting this on the same level as Fire Force if we're making that kind of the cap. Because I was, for what it is, for what the story is, I can see giving it an 8 out of 10. That's what I was thinking yesterday. But I saw my other picks at 8, and I was like, I can't. I was like, it's a, for what it's done, it's a mid 7, right?
Yeah.
I can see you giving it a high 7. I can see you giving it a low 8. Because, and to be honest, the last 2 arcs that I read were probably because of that. And like, I didn't have that curiosity that I had at the beginning when they started to fight. It kind of like I understand for conflict, like that's great, but I just felt like for me, that just didn't feel like what the story was.
hey Ben, but you know what
know?
they say, love is
war.
That's
Yeah, obviously. But I think I still think it was good, but I was just like this is getting kind of annoying, and I don't know. But I do think it is like I think the anime has done a really good job of making it short and to the point with only 2 seasons and a movie.
Yeah.
And I think overall finishing the series in about 123 chapters is a pretty big feat, I would say.
Yeah.
However, I do have to say not all the girls were given equal time. Yotsuba, I think, obviously she was given the highlight of the ending, but specifically Itsuki was really, really
shoved to the wayside,
forgettable, and completely shoved to the wayside. And I think maybe that was him toying. I don't know. I think he might have not known who it was going to be between Yotsuba and Itsuki when he started. Yeah. So I think he left both them to have these kind of opportunities to have that Yotsuba ending.
Yeah.
So I think he knew it was going to be Itsuki or Yotsuba, but I think in the end he went for Yotsuba. And I think it would have been much worse if he went for Itsuki.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe if he did give that development to Itsuki, it would have been good as well in a different kind of sense. But I don't know. It's a 7 out of me, and that's what I'm going to rate on my anime list.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right, now ranking the
just
girl.
so you know, Ping Pong got a 10. That's what I rated it. So
nice.
It's really great. Yeah.
And now where the real war begins.
Edgar, why don't you start?
Ranking of Girls, the other sequel to Ranking of Kings.
Ranking of
but
Girls.
Not as, but cringe. Like
you're coming up with good title names, Edgar. I'm gonna take that and make a romance manga out of it.
Ranking of Girls.
Ranking of Girls.
Yeah, but should we pick what we like in our picks and girls, or logistically, how do you want to do this?
I think mix them two. Mix of the two.
All right. Well, here I go.
You can go.
You want to go first? Or you want
I
to go
like
first?
this. You go first.
All right.
Because I'm still my mind is still computing.
Here we go. Guys,
this
remember,
this is gonna be clipped.
Remember, guys,
this is gonna be clipped.
I love you all.
We're gonna have a TikTok. It's gonna be a TikTok, and it's gonna be like, listen to these nerds choose wrongly.
Look. I don't hate any of these girls. I actually like all of them, but it's the fans that make me hate the girls. But it's because you guys suck, and you might. I don't care. But here's my ranking of the girls, and I've literally explained my reasons already. I'm not being biased. I mean, a little bit, but not really. Really, no. But all right, here I go.
I'm not being biased. Well, maybe.
No comment.
Yeah.
But yes. All right, here we go. Yotsuba number 1.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I just explained why. She's the perfect. She's the perfect match for Futuro. They both want to be better people because of each other. She was the one that was always nicest to him. At the very beginning. She was the only one supportive of him when he was tutoring them. She was the first one that they met, so she got the childhood friend syndrome.
Ichigo was pretty open, right?
Yeah. But she was one of the Yotsuba was the first one and one of the only few. And her backstory, I felt the most sorry for her, and not in a pitiful really way, but because of who she was as a person and wanted to do good things and make herself stand out. Not really in a selfish way, but because she felt like she was worthless and she was a mix of 5 and wasn't meaningful at all. And I really liked that about her. So, and she was all that really matters, and all that comes down to it is that she's a perfect match for Futuro. But I personally liked her in general, but that's just a minor part of it. So her number 1. 2, this one actually might be a hot take, but Ichika. Ichika, I felt the second most sorry for. She's the one that's the less obvious you should feel sorry for me character, because everything she does, it's all for Moot, and I feel really bad for her. And she shows a side that you don't get to see a lot, a very shameful side in human characters and what they do, for love. It's not always pretty. It's not always nice. She's also very... although she's very conflicting in what she does against her sisters, she's one of the most supportive ones of all. And she hot. So right. And then
canonically she is. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, Nino. Okay. Yes, I mean I know she like does a lot of things that are bad, but she wins
Sure.
me over a lot. So she's really cool, and I like the moments. She's like I think she has one of the most comedic moments in general. I like the ones where like this is funny. Like
I
this
don't know.
is funny.
Yotsuba's pretty funny.
Yeah, she's funny,
Yotsuba
but
has some funny moments.
yeah.
Like when she says some really stupid stuff. Like I think that's when I belly laughed the most.
Well, here's okay. Well, let me
Yeah.
rephrase. I think she has the most like spicy, as in ooh, things are getting
Yes,
like
she-
interesting.
I
Like you
agree
know what I
with
mean?
you, yeah.
So like Nino has the moments like that, like these are good. It's getting like real or something. Yeah. So where am I? Yotsuba 1, Ichika 2, Nino 3, 4, Miku. I know. Put down the pitchforks. I know. I'm sorry. Look, to me, I liked her, but off the get-go, I'm like, I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for that. She's a pity character to me, and she was like,
Sure.
I don't know. She just fell flat to me. But I really did like her. Again, I don't hate her. I don't think she's a bad character. I just compared to all of them, I found the other ones more interesting.
Sure.
But she was endearing and she was nice. But she was really made up excuses for like why. I know love is hard and it's really hard admitting feelings, but if this went on for like 200 plus more chapters, she probably still would have admitted her feelings for him up until like the very last like 10 chapters, and I would have been like, you had all that time. You know what I mean? And I know Itsuki and Yotsuba didn't really proclaim their feelings for him really either, but they didn't really like struggle with that in general. So, and that's why it kind of rubbed me out the wrong way. I'm like, okay, we get it. You're gonna be like, one of those. And then Itsuki at number 5. Nothing wrong with her. She just wasn't written or given any attention for me to, support her.
She has nothing.
Yeah. And that I actually would have been mad if he chose her as the final one, just because like, oh, it's the first character you meet, so they'll be the ones that end up together. I actually would have been mad because there's no.
I actually think that would have
no
subverted
chemistry.
my expectation because I thought for a fact it wasn't going to be her because she was the first person he met. So I actually would have subverted my. But once again, as we've stated multiple times on the Manga Monday show, and as we will continue to state until the day that we die, just subverting your expectations is not good storytelling. There you go.
Yeah, and she, I don't think there was no chemistry between Futuro and her really. It would have been the easy way out and the worst possible choice, and that's my.
She
picks.
likes studying. Futuro likes studying. Wow.
No.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know. Yeah, I agree with
all
you.
right. What are your picks, Ben? Top. Rank 'em. Or
I
rank.
think I have the same with you, except I would switch. Well, God, like I said, I'm struggling like in terms of like because like I said, personalities in terms of who I would pick would probably be Ichika. And I probably wouldn't even listen to any of the other girls' pleas because there were so many points where they were all so annoying. Like, and I was like, God, shut up. Like, I was like, let my man Futuro breathe, bro. And there was a good arc where I was just like, man, let him just chill out, please. But, like, in terms of, like, mine, the first one would be Ichigo. But in terms of storytelling, I really, really like Yotsuba. And to be honest, the movie, props to the movie. The series is a 7 out of 10 and on the lower side. But the movie, for me, is a low 8 out of 10. Because it actually genuinely moved me a little bit with Yotsuba's picking and all that stuff. And I thought it was really well done. So I think Yotsuba is the best. I think Ichiga is the second. I think that the only difference that between me and Edgar's pick is that Miku is third, because I genuinely think like what made me interested in this manga was when Miku first started to connect with Futuro about the war generals, and Futuro was like, okay, you like war generals? That's okay. That's like history and stuff. That's great, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, like I genuinely like that, and I think that I didn't like, it wasn't like, I mean, I knew that she was like the character who was like, I know she was like that, but also like, I also think it was pretty well done at places, like her little face, her little pouty face that she makes. I actually genuinely think like that was funny at times.
Yeah, her pouting faces are pretty adorable.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't going to be her, however, immediately from the get-go, because of her character design. And that's because you never end up with the guy with the girl with the headphones. Never.
No, Ben, you never end up with the girl with short hair, and that's why Yotsuba winning was one of the best celebrations. No, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man. Like 99 times out of 100, the short girl hair never wins. Never
In
wins.
Dragon Ball, she did. Videl. In
It's-
Dragon
and
Ball,
in
we're
love
going on.
stories, love
Oh,
stories.
Okay,
Yeah, like in romance, like stories.
Nagatoro has short hair. I mean, we
No,
don't know.
she has
if- we
long
don't-
hair.
We don't. Oh, Nagatoro does have long hair. Never mind.
Yeah,
My bad.
and it's always a side character who has the short hair, and
That's
she
right.
never ends up
that's
winning.
right.
That's why it's such
Yeah,
a feat.
female character 2A. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly, right. But yeah, and then I agree with you. Itsuki is the last one, just because there's nothing really to her character. We don't really.
Where's
know.
the spice?
We don't really. not that, but like she doesn't need to have spice. She just needs to have moments.
No, not spice like
And-
that. I meant like as in like where's the seasoning? Like
Yes,
where's
of
the
course.
interesting things to her character? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also think like, yeah, what reinforces our whole thing is the thing with the dad at the end.
Yeah.
Like that kind of came up out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
The biological father just showing up. Like I think that just was just like, whoop, like, oh yeah, and she kind of like in terms of her telling her father off, it kind of was like a worse version of Nino's ending, So I think it was, interesting. However, the true best girl is Futuro, because without him, the story would have been unbearable. And if he was more of like if he was like a Deku, how Deku is around girls, I would have dropped it by chapter 10. I would have been like, Edgar, you're watching this movie alone. I'm sorry, because that would have been absurd. But genuinely seeing a character struggle through trying to keep up with his homework and trying to teach these girls to kind of pay off his debt is a genuine down-to-earth thing. So Itsugi is Futuro Yusugi is the best girl of the series, but and I'm genuinely not being like he's the best character of the series.
Oh, character. I was gonna say girl. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
girl too.
Like no, Ben, it's Yotsuba. I'm
Girl
just
too.
kidding.
But he is like he genuinely saved this story from being awful, and seeing him struggle. He had a great development, seeing him struggle, and like Edgar said earlier, realizing, oh hey, I do like girls.
Yeah.
is a big plus.
Not like that,
So,
like, oh, I like girls, but like, oh, I have like, romance is
Yeah.
a thing in my life. You know what I mean?
All right, Edgar. Last two things. Favorite moment?
Favorite moment. It's gonna be weird, but my favorite moments was when like the whole debacle with like, thinking that Futuro has a cousin, but it's actually Futuro, because that I like interesting stuff like that. Even though it's like it doesn't involve my favorite girl, but I like the moments of like with Nino and him and like that. Oh,
Favorite arc?
Oh, favorite arc. The sauna, the scrambled egg.
Scrambled eggs
Yeah.
arc.
Yeah.
That sounds so wrong.
I know, right? Scrambled eggs. So I'm
Sounds
gonna
so
make
wrong.
a pancake arc or something like that.
I guess it's because it's like you've taken eggs that look differently, you've cracked them, and then when you make scrambled eggs out of them, they all look the same. Maybe that's why.
Maybe. What about you? Favorite moment?
Favorite moment, Yotsuba and the swing the first time, and it all paid off really well. And then my favorite arc is the final arc. It's not rare anymore. I mean, I say this a lot, but it's surprising when a manga lands itself so well, because a lot of times mangakas create stories and they kind of just create it like off a whim, and they're like, okay, I don't know how this ends.
I feel like you shouldn't write a story if you don't know how it's gonna end, especially for a long one too.
Tell that to Attack on Titan
or D&D.
Yeah.
No, I get I don't know. Even if you don't like the ending, I feel like he was gonna.
I don't think
had an idea of
he
how
had
it was
an
gonna
idea,
end.
Yeah, but also like the endings change over time. Like have we seen My Hero Academia's endings changed?
Yeah.
Because we got in the movie what was supposed to be the original ending, but I think
maybe it'll actually be better than the original ending
Yeah,
based on how the
maybe.
manga's going.
maybe we'll
you
see.
imagine?
But But yeah, it's just the final arc, it landing on its feet actually fairly well, and allowing me to step away from the right. It's not going to be a manga where like at the end of Vinland Saga, I'm going to be bawling my eyes out because it's over now.
Yeah,
you
because you
know.
have a girlfriend.
But
that's
in
why.
this one, oh, shut up. In this
No,
one,
no, really,
I know,
really
I know,
though,
I get you,
really.
I get you.
Like,
But at the end of this one, I go, okay, and I step back.
I had
Yeah.
another depression. You know when you finish a series and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm depressed now. I thought I had it when I finished the manga, and then it happened again after the film. I'm like, bro, it can't keep happening to me. He can't keep getting away with this.
That only happens to me when mangas I really liked that were really long, or video games that were really long. Like
Yeah,
every time I finish The Witcher 3, I'm always that depression.
It's only happened with me 5 times, and this doesn't mean that they're top tier. That they touched me. It touched me in a way that I felt like that I just
show
really...
me on the chart. Where did it touch you?
No, not like that. I meant it hit me in a way like it hit different, and it made me like sucked into the world, no matter how good or bad.
Yeah.
So Quintessential Quintuplets, Sword Art Online, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh man, those first two people are first time listeners are gonna be like.
I never said they're good.
Be like, ew.
That was my first. That was like one of my first animes. So
Okay.
like I had like a.
God, that's gonna be interesting when I watch it. It's gonna be so fascinating.
Oh, I'm really scared, bro.
It's
But
gonna
I'm
be-
ready.
it's gonna be like-
I've been
yeah.
used to the hate like a ridiculous amount, so much to the point.
Yeah. Well, I know Alec and Asal hate it, and they're like, Ben, please don't watch it. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to eventually. But yeah,
I certainly won't make you, but go ahead. What was it? No, what? Oh my God, I think that's it.
yeah.
No, that can't be it. There was like one more that I finished. And I'm like, what do I do with my life? I can't think of it now.
Fire
but
Force, maybe.
no,
Soul Eater.
maybe.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Maybe right now, but like it's like when I hear the music from those series,
Yeah.
or when I just think, I just get like, it's like the Avatar effect, or when you remember when people like
The Avatar's Love.
yeah,
That anytime that song plays.
no,
I
no.
cry.
You jumped on the no, not when the movie Avatar, when that came out. You know how people were getting depressed and like were actually like killing themselves because they weren't in that world. That's a bit of a stretch, but like a similar depression. I'm like, I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
What's the point of living? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
I was talking about the Avatar's Love.
Yeah, I don't care about that. You know,
Oh,
I'm
come
talking
on.
about the. It's like
Everybody knows The Last Airbender is.
I'm talking about
more goated.
post-series depression.
Right.
Like, have you ever had that?
Yes, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
All right. Well, that other anime.
I am a crying in an anime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's happened multiple times in anime. And reading Vagabond is sad. Like reading Vagabond, it gave me that moment. Catching up with One Piece gave me that. I felt really sad, but I mean, I was excited to be reading it weekly.
Yeah.
But like, I read One Piece for 6 months, like almost every day for 6 months straight. You know.
Hunter x
it was
Hunter.
a part of-
I
it was a
felt that
part
with
of
Hunter x
me.
Hunter as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Haikyuu did that to me. Haikyuu was very good. The ending was pretty emotional and really nice. Yeah, and that's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yeah. But I
Oh, Mob Psycho. Oh, that happened to me literally yesterday.
yeah. See what I mean? It happened twice. Like you read the manga, like I already know how it
God.
ends, and then you see it in
We
anime
didn't even
form.
talk about Mob Psycho today.
Well, I haven't even caught up.
I
I
know we'll
haven't-
talk about it next week, but
Yeah.
it's guys, watch Mob Psycho. I was a ball of tears.
But it's so funny how it can happen 2 times. Like you're like, I already know what's
Yeah.
happening. Don't be an idiot. And you watch it again,
Yeah.
like, well, I learned nothing. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm depressed
exactly.
again.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, that's how good these series are. You know what I mean? They can hit you in different ways. Some
Sure.
of them work, some of them don't work. But I had a real fun time talking about this series with you, Ben.
Sure.
It was a treat for you to pick it up, and I can't wait for you to.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna collect the volumes. Like I liked it that much. When a manga is kind of in my 6s and 5s,
Yeah.
that's when I don't really start to collect
Hey,
it. You know.
There's only 2 box volumes, I believe. So
Yeah,
like
there is,
a
there is,
7/7 clean collection, or you
Clean
can just buy it. It's
Yeah.
14, so not a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for you. I think the next series, you already had it in mind, but Love is War is the next series.
It's the
That
next
one
step.
is like on and
Yeah.
is like the best romance series that I've read and watched.
It's heard it's one of the best animes ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. And yeah, while we do that, I mean, I'm excited for other slice of life stuff, for more genres. I'm excited. The first volume of March Comes In Like a Lion is coming out in a few months. The English version of the first
There's
volume.
no English version of it?
No.
Wow.
So yeah, that's gonna be great, and I'm interested to see. That's something I think that I'm genuinely gonna be interested in you reading. But yeah,
Or watching. I
or
probably
watch
might
it.
just watch
You'll
it.
watch it. Don't worry. But yeah. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, please hit like and please hit subscribe. The Manga Monday show is going to be going through a huge metamorphosis in the next coming weeks, so be around for that and keep your eye out for it.
Did you have that Black Clover stream yet or not yet?
Not yet. That's going to be next week.
Next week. All right.
Yeah.
So when this episode comes out, the week of this,
Yeah.
right?
Or it's going to be the week after. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see. You did say it was going to be like a 10-hour stream or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's going to be a 10-hour stream.
Lordy.
Okay. Or however long it takes me to read.
Hey, I
100
might join you
chapters.
for like a good hour if you get in
Yeah,
a
that'd
good
be
part.
great.
Like,
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, what I'm going to do is to stay away from copyright, I'm going to take a panel. I'm going to like read it, but it's going to be super zoomed in, and I'm just going to focus in on one panel from each page, and then I'll be explaining what's happening. And then after every 10 chapters, we're going to have a pretty long discussion about it. So yeah, join me for that. I'll post on the Manga Monday show, and you guys can come join me on stream. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah. Thank
Anything
you guys.
else, Edgar?
No, that's pretty much it. Other than click our YouTube channel, subscribe, like or follow us on any place you can find us on podcast apps.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Next
Peace.
week.
Next week?
Yeah, I think.
Next week.
Next week. Manga Monday Show.
Bye.